I believe we're live, Mr. Bo.
You ready? Are we live? Yes, we are live for the very last show of Bayloric TV. This is everybody here. Today is to say goodbye to Ingram Jones of Bayloric Boxing Television. And, well, quite frankly, he's going to have some things to say. We all going to have some things to say. It might get heated. It might get hot. But above all, we're going to have ourselves a good time at the end of the day. Before we get started, I want to introduce everybody on this panel, starting with myself, Bo. I want to say thanks to everybody that came in and joined. Appreciate all of you guys. It's an honor for me to be here talking to everybody here right now because all of these people that I'm talking to have been in the game longer than me. One of the cats probably actually helped me get started, you know. But we're gonna start it off. We're gonna start it off with a legend in the game, Blood from Blood Boxing. What's up, man?
Hey man, how y'all doing, man?
All right, we be doing good. Also, we will kick it over to 78 Sports. What's going on, fam?
Peace. How everybody doing? All
right, we appreciate it. Start off with my man, 2K, the God from the Gods of Boxing Talk. That's the guy that helped me get started.
What's good? What's good?
All right. We have in the room Mr. AJ Big Dog Carter. Y'all see me talk to him. I like him. What's up, AJ?
I'm good, thank you, man. How you doing?
All right. And then there is Melissa. She is a publicist and she knows her boxing also. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
And then there's the man that we are all here honoring, Mr. Ingram Jones.
Thank you so much, Bo. And you look so delighted that I'm leaving. You look over the moon. You're like, yes. Can't wait to get rid of the guy. Can't wait to him. That's it. Kick him out the door.
Well, you know, the rookies is always see the veterans the lead so they can move up the food chain, you know.
That's what it's about, brother. That's what it's about.
All right. We're gonna start off with I'm gonna pass it over to everybody in the panel and let them tell you guys a little bit of stuff about themselves. Let's start off with Melissa. Melissa, give everybody a rundown who you are and your background.
I am a publicist. I have been doing this for
guys a little bit of stuff about themselves.
Oh, Adrian.
Let's start off with Melissa.
Somebody put pause. Pause. Thank you. Go ahead. Melissa?
Go ahead, Melissa.
Okay. Yeah, I've been doing PR for like 10, 15 years in London, UK. Originally in the football, the Premiership game, music industry, and then transcended over to the boxing about 3 years ago. Client is AJ Carter and Isaac Dogbo right now, but I've been consulting with a lot of the UK up and coming new boxers and working closely with promoters in the smaller shows, having to do like branding and marketing and introducing sort of consultancy. And that's about it, really. I just want to learn the game very, very fast.
All right. Thank you so much for that. We have another lady to join us, Adrian. You guys have seen me talk to her. Hey, Adrian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Bo?
I'm all right. Why don't you introduce you to the panel? Of course, you know 2K.
Yeah. Hey, Adrian.
Hey.
Then there's 78. Then there's 78 Sports.
I listened to his YouTube station.
See? Oh, thank you.
There's Blood. There is the Godfather himself, Blood Boxing.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
Hi, how are you?
Then of course, you know, AJ Big Dog Carter.
Yeah, I do. Hey, AJ.
That's Melissa. Adrian, since you're here, give everybody a rundown of your background in boxing and what got you started.
Well, what got me started, I think everyone's familiar with the story. I started watching boxing when I was 11 years old, and I've been following and watching ever since. It's been a long time, too.
Hey, tell everybody, what's the first fight you saw?
Why do you bring that up, Bo? Well, actually, the first fight I saw was, you know what? I'm thinking now, I'm not sure if it was Muhammad Ali and what's his name?
Liston.
Listen, I think it was before he fought Liston.
Ken Norton.
No, right after he fight. No, right after he fought Liston. He fought. I see his face and I can't think of his name. He had kind of a thick afro.
Big Cat Williams? No.
Come on, Foreman.
Come on, blood. You can help us here.
No, really popular.
George Foreman?
Who?
Foreman had a big afro, but he wouldn't have been Foreman.
No. Foreman was later on down the road.
I don't think she's talking about somebody like Ellis or somebody.
You talking about Ernie Terrell? Are you talking about Ernie Terrell?
Not Ernie Terrell.
He was a heavyweight. Was this guy a heavyweight?
He was a heavyweight, and he was dark complexion, thick hair, kind of a oh my God, I used to always
What era did he fight in? He fought in the 70s?
He actually fought in the late 60s and early 70s, but I think by the 60s he was out.
You sure it's not Ernie Terrell, maybe?
Who was that who kept calling him Muhammad Ali?
Ernie Terrell.
Ernie Terrell.
It wasn't Ernie Terrell.
Was it Big Cat Williams?
Talking about Cleveland Williams?
Yeah, Big Cat Williams.
Cleveland Williams with the straight hair?
Yeah.
No, hair was not straight.
Yeah, the afro.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. I'm trying to think. I'll think of it. I will. I'll think of it.
I believe you. All right, we're going to go over. We have somebody else that just came in.
Asgard Ty here.
Asgard Ty, what's going on? How you doing?
How are you, big dog?
Asgard?
Yeah, I'm Mazgi, just a normal fat guy from Derby. Don't know jack about boxing, but I like to give my personal opinion. Sometimes controversial, sometimes the truth, but either way, I'm getting it off my chest and saying it how it is. So, hello to everybody.
Asgard, you're really doing yourself a disservice. Tell the people who you've worked with or who you have worked with.
I've worked with the heavyweight champion, the real heavyweight champion of the world, the Ring Magazine champion, the lineal champion, Tyson Fury. I worked with Huey Fury, the soon-to-be WBO, or who knows, WBC, possibly champion of the world. I've worked with a lot of domestic fighters, a lot of domestic champions. I also work with the amateurs on the amateur scene, working with some superstars in the making. I do a lot of boxing stuff.
Great stuff, Asgard. Great to have you in the room. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
78 Sports. Go ahead, give us a rundown, man.
All right, 78 Sports TV. I fell in love with the sport of boxing as a child. My father is a hardcore boxing fan. Wanted to be just like him, so I did what he did. Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick was the first fight I ever seen, and it was over from then. And started a YouTube channel. This particular channel has been up since 2013, and we're doing good right now.
All right, that's what's up. Blood Boxing, go ahead, give us a rundown, man.
Okay, man, my name Blood Boxing. I like to refer to myself as an old school boxing head. My first fight that I ever seen was Larry Holmes versus Ken Norton. I came downstairs and my dad was making a bunch of noise. And yeah, man, so that was the first fight I ever seen. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, loud and clear, brother.
I'm trying to figure out if I got this thing on mute or not. I'm like, okay. But that was the first fight I seen. And then from there, man, I collected all the boxing magazines in the 80s. And my dad already had a stack from the 60s and 70s. And I used to read all these stories. And I just loved boxing so much. And then YouTube came along and I was like, wow, I could actually see all these fights, the ones that I missed and everything. And it was just so amazing to see all these fights. And I decided, well, hell, shit, let me open up a boxing page. And, that was over about 10 years ago. And, it's been that way ever since, man. That's what brings me here.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. All right. We're going to pass it over to AJ Big Dog Carter. Go ahead, man. Give him your resume and your rundown.
I'm just a boxing baby, really. My father was professional middleweight. She used to instill it in me and force me to go to the gym when I was young. I've always had a love-hate relationship. Then one day it just clicked, and I've just loved the sport ever since. I'm slowly making my way up the ranks to take over everything and change the landscape of boxing.
All right. We're gonna be following you, and then finally, the man that got me started, and I appreciate them joining us, Mr. 2K the God from the Gods of Boxing Talk.
What's good? 2K the God here. Man, I started my channel over a year ago, so we fairly new to the game, but it's gonna be one of the most controversial channels on YouTube, man. We say what we want, we don't give a damn what anybody thinks, and we talk about everybody, good or bad. Don't matter who it is. Could be our favorite fighter, don't matter. It was filmed, you know what I'm saying? Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. After that, that's when I started boxing. Started boxing amateur. I did that from when I was about 7 years old till I was about 18. Then I took the basketball route. Came back and did boxing again as an amateur when I was about 27. So I've been around the ring, been in the ring. I've been around the sport for a very long time. So to be here, fellas and ladies.
Bo?
Yes.
It was Floyd Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, look, that's
okay.
He didn't have no afro though. He had a rabbit cut. Rabbit.
That's he had a rabbit cut.
Yeah, that was a rabbit cut. You messed us up when you said afro, eh?
Well,
All right. Well, we all here today to pay our respects to the man, Ingram Jones. Ingram, go ahead and give everybody a rundown of what got you going.
Let me think. The fight. 2 fights. First fight was, I think it was Bruno versus Tyson. It was my dad who said, "Who do you think is going to win this fight?" And at the time, what did I know? I said, "Oh, Bruno's going to win. He's from the UK," and all the advertisement and all the commercials that were on the HP sauce, and you know what I mean, Harry, and all that stuff. So, of course, you watch that, and then you see Tyson go across the ring and beat living daylights out of Bruno, and I guess that's what kind of got me into boxing. And then watching Tyson knock a whole heap of people out. He was the guy that was around, and then Evander Holyfield was coming up, and they were all looking for this guy to beat Mike Tyson, and everyone was talking big and bold that they could beat Mike Tyson. I remember one time I was watching Hulk Hogan sitting down saying he could beat Mike Tyson. I'm like, what? A wrestler saying he could beat Tyson? People were getting so desperate to see Tyson get beat. So it was the Mike Tyson era for me was when really I started getting into boxing. And I kind of got fed up after a while, staying up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning and then watching a fight go around, people talking big before the fight and Mike knocking guys out around, dispatching them, like it was nothing. So that's kind of what kind of got me into boxing. And then from there, after losing several bets with my dad and through the years and getting involved in boxing myself and almost having a professional career boxing, training in the same gym as Roy Jones at one point, and then back in the UK training in Cardiff with Barry Jones when he was training for the super featherweight championship of the world against Aslano de Freitas. And then from there, did some work in doing some work in boxing academy, work at Frank Bruno's Boxing Academy. And then from there, got into talking about the sport on YouTube in 2009, started up a channel, and then started an online channel in 2012, online television, then broke away from that and did the YouTube channel just exclusively for boxing, still keeping the online television on, and now to the point where now, after getting to as far as I think I can go in the YouTube community and with boxing, seeing yourself or your work done in national and international newspapers, getting your interviews transcribed and translated in Russian and Ukrainian, is one of the biggest compliments, to get to that point. So you think to yourself, what can I've done all I can possibly do in terms of achieving my personal goals. So now what can I do? Which is now to go to the next level, which is now to leave the YouTube community and to return back to online television. So that's where I am now.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, we're going to be sad to see you go, but you got to go. All right, we're going to start things off. I want to get everybody's opinion on how they feel this year in boxing was. Did it live up to expectations? Was it below expectations? Could there have been more things we could have seen? Just give me an overall feel of what you guys think. I'm going to start with Asgar. Asgar, I'm going to start with you, man. Give me your rundown of what you think of your feel for this year in boxing?
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be really honest. This is from the heart. It's a farce. The whole boxing thing is. Can I swear? No, I won't swear. I'll just use the B word. It was B shit. Yeah. All this catch weight mixing is destroying the level, the ranking system. It's just destroyed the whole thing because you've got guys jumping up 2 weights and disrespecting rank number 2, rank number 3. People have earned their right to be in where the position they're in. Yes, it sells. Yes, a lot of people are interested. But is it classic boxing? No, it's not. It's destroying it. It's a farce. You see the controversy with Tyson Fury, how all the scandals and all the manipulations and all the politics in boxing. It's just destroyed it. Now it's opened up the heavyweight division. Is it really made a great impact, a positive impact? No, it's not. It's a farce. You've got Joseph Parker, the WBO. You've got IBF, AJ. You've got the WBA, which is open. It's just comical. It's not done any favors for boxing. Then you've got the lighter weights. You've got people who are not fighting. Like you've got Triple G, who's the best in his division. If I was a boxer that way, I want to fight the best. Would I win? Would I lose? Who knows? At least I'd give it a go. People are avoiding everybody. It's not like when I first started getting into boxing, I was around the Fantastic Four era where you had Hagler, Hearn, Duran, and them lot. You understand? They were the best were fighting the best, and it was great for TV. And today they've cemented their legacy. And this is what boxing's about. And this is what brings me to say Hughie Fury will be a cemented legend. This is why he wants to fight people like Wilder. This is why he wants to fight people like AJ. He wants to fight whoever's the best out there. And unfortunately, it's the rivalries in different promoters. It's destroying boxing. Yes, the fans get to be spoiled, but as boxing as a whole, it's destroying it. This is why things like MMA are getting a mention. And MMA, listen, it's their thing, but it shouldn't be compared to boxing. It's disrespectful.
Okay, all right.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. You had some very good points in there. 78 Sports. Give me your rundown and tell me, do you kind of agree with what Asgard was saying?
I agree wholeheartedly with everything he said about the state of boxing. I mean, there's some bright spots. I don't want to make it seem like boxing just sucks all the way around, but there are some bright spots in it. But I think as fans, when we have to beg and plead for these guys to do their job, I think it's a problem. I mean, if you're a middleweight, you should want to fight the middleweight champion. Otherwise, go home, go to sleep.
Absolutely.
We don't want to hear from you. If you're a heavyweight, you should want to fight the heavyweight champion. You should want to be undisputed. If you have a belt, you should want to be the man. Nobody is in my way. How dare anybody else claim to be a champion in my house? That should be your attitude as a fighter, I believe. And I just don't see the attitude from today's fighters enough. A few people have it, but I think a lot of times when it seems to me, from my experience at least, when these fighters get to a certain level of notoriety, start getting a little attention, they start getting very arrogant, and they start thinking they accomplish more than they actually have in the ring, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, and you've expressed that before. That's why I wanted to get your take on there. All right, I'm gonna get a lady's opinion. Melissa, what do you think about this year in boxing, and what do you think about what the two gentlemen had to say?
I totally agree with what Askar said, and it's so refreshing to hear someone say that, because obviously in my job I have to protect my client and I have to get them to say the right things. But with AJ in particular, I can't do that. He's very much, as you all know, you've all seen and heard from him, he says exactly what he thinks. And sometimes I would get scared because I think people like, Eddie Hearn, whatever. People like Eddie Hearn will not put him on his show, or people will block him, or, promoters aren't going to come and give us a contract if he's so outspoken. And we've always been tiptoeing around the issue. And I'm so happy to hear that, because sometimes I feel afraid to say things because I don't know boxing 100%. But I think I've learned enough to know what's right and what's wrong. And I feel like the fans are being blinded by all this bullshit that's going on. It's not professional, and it just seems like Eddie Hearn is just completely running everything. But at the same time, I do feel like the public are awakening to the fact of what's going on, like with the rankings. But AJ's always said to me from day one, I want to do things properly. I want to get the belts. I want to fight the best. And then I want to defend them so that I can be the undisputed champion of the world. So because I've learned that from him, when I see everything else that's going on, especially what happened with Tyson Fury, I just think it's a disgrace and something needs to be done about it. But it seems also that everyone's too scared to lose their positions.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's I agree. I agree. That's good stuff. Blood boxing. Let's get your take on that.
The year sucked, man, to be honest with you, man. Me personally, man, I want to see them unify some of these belts, man. Let's bring some prestige back to the belts. I'm really tired of these guys avoiding each other. Everybody wants to be Money Mayweather. They believe that they could pick their next opponent and all of that stuff. They take away all the credit and value from the belt. My three main focuses right now is the light welterweight division, because we have Terrence Crawford, who has 3 of the 4 belts. So we're close to undisputed there. It could happen. We're close to undisputed in the middleweight division. That's the second division I'm talking about. Then you have the light heavyweight division, and we're close to undisputed there. We got Andre Ward. Whether you think Kovalev won the fight or not. You know, right now we need an undisputed champion to bring some prestige back to the belt. When Tyson Fury pulled his little stunt, now we have 4 heavyweight champions again here. You know, and I'm tired of that. You know, I've been watching this sport for years, and there was a time where we all valued seeing the champion fight. When we were seeing Donald Curry and Mark Breland and Evander Holyfield and Livingston Bramble, whoever it was, okay? You know, we know he beat Mancini and then all that. We knew who the champ was back then, though. That's the point. And if somebody moved out of the division to Aguero to fight Pryor or whatever, you know, we knew that a guy had dominated that division, not take some cherry pick ass fight like Golovkin did with what's his name, Kell Brook. That's a fucking disgrace to me. Okay, so that's where I'm at with the sport right now. Bring some prestige back to the belt. Okay, that's where I'm at right now.
All right, AJ, Big Dog Carter. We're gonna start with you being a fighter. I know you have a lot you want to say.
I have to again agree with so far what has been said by everybody. I think, simply put, each year that passes when in always number 1 does not fight number 2, it's always a knock on and a bad name for boxing. There are a couple guys out there, as mentioned, like Terrence Crawford, like Andre Ward, Rigondal, all these guys who are fighting the best and doing what we like to see, but unfortunately they're not very popular with the public per se, or just out of their either state or their country. So it makes it extremely difficult for boxing worldwide. That's why MMA, the only thing I respect about it personally is the fact that all the time number 1 fights number 2. It's as simple as that. You want to be the best, fight the best. That's how I've always known things to be. If you want to compare it to, you know, whether it's footballs in soccer or American football, it's like having 2 Super Bowl winners or 3 Super Bowl winners or 3 Champions League winners. It doesn't make any sense. And it easily puts people off who are casual boxing fans. And, you know, ask a boxing fan what's happening. Okay, who's this guy? Okay, this guy's the world champion. Okay, and he's fighting another world champion, but these 2 guys aren't number 1 at the weight. There's another guy that's number 1 at the weight, but neither of them will fight him. Okay, so how are they world champions? It will just put a bad taste in your mouth, and you want to leave it there. Like I said, it's down to the boxers and ultimately down to the fans as well. Some fans complain about it, but they still pay their, you know, $90 or £20 for their pay-per-view. So everyone's getting paid. And a lot of boxers don't want to do it like that. I don't know whether it's fear or whether it's money. A lot of fights have been muted because of apparent money reasons or whatever. But I believe if you believe you're the best and you know that you can win and be number 1, sometimes you got to take the short straw and grit your teeth, knock the guy out, because once you're a champion, money will come anyway. So
exactly.
All right, thanks for that. I'm gonna pass it over to my man 2K. Give us your take, man.
Well, man, I agree with everybody on the panel. Just what everybody who's gone already has said. I'm gonna piggyback off of what Blood said, though, man. One thing I never remember hearing back in the day when cats didn't want to fight somebody else, with somebody saying, "Oh, that boxer's he's boring," or he doesn't sell out arenas, or let me leave it up to my promoter. We didn't hear no fucking bullshit like that when we were talking about one fighter who is the best in the division fighting another fighter who wants to be the best in the division. We never heard no bullshit like that. The problem here is that, and I said this before, us on this panel, the real boxing enthusiasts, we're the minorities. The majority in this sport are the fucking casuals. And the casuals are ran by some of these casual ass writers that go and get fucking journalist degrees, and then they use boxing as a form of income. So they write on the sport, don't know shit about it, but they write on the sport and they say a whole bunch of shit. They spread a whole bunch of propaganda about different things, a la Rigo, for example, a la this whole Andre Ward shit and Sergey Kovalev. They spread a whole bunch of propaganda, and the casuals are the only ones that are reading this shit and taking it to heart, because we know, the guys on this panel and others out there, we know what's really good about the sport because we've been around it for so long. So when the casuals are the face of the sport, and that's the only outlet they have for correct information, that's why we are getting these dumbass fans who are backing these fucking fighters who are actually ducking people, a la fucking Carl Frampton, a la fucking Triple G not wanting the Andre Ward fight. I'll go to 168 to fight Carl Froch, a retired motherfucker, but I won't fight Andre Ward at 168. No. He got to go to 164. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So as a boxing as a whole, that's my position. I'm with y'all 100%. As a whole, we need to stop condoning ducking, and we need to quit letting these fucking fighters try to follow the Floyd Mayweather blueprint without having to do what Pretty Boy Floyd did to become Money Mayweather. Okay, fucking not Rod Selka. I'm about to get into Rod Selka, but Danny Garcia's dad. He told us. He told Fight Hype. This motherfucker said, "Why would we fight a Keith Thurman when we can fight Rod Selka for $1 million?" I put this shit on my channel. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker told us. What else is there to say? He told us what these fighters are following. And that's exactly what they're doing. That's why you got cats like Danny Jacobs going on in front of barbershop conversation saying he's second in the division. AJ, you a fighter. Would you ever tell a camera that you behind somebody in your division? Exactly.
I wouldn't do that in life personally.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But that's my point. You know what I'm saying? He's on there saying they put him on the spot like, "Yo, you gonna fight Triple G?" Motherfucker was basically like, "Well, all that shit." That's it. That's what we need to stop. As fans, we need to petition this shit. We need to be like, we're not watching these dumbass fights. For example, Cotto Kirkland. We're not watching that bullshit. All right. Cotto Kirkland's like 15 minutes away from my crib. It's over there in Frisco, Texas, at a goddamn practice facility. You know what I'm saying? I could fucking drive over there in 15 minutes and go to the fight if I want to. I'm not doing it. Why? Because it's fuckery. Be fighting no fucking James Kirkland. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, boxing as a whole, I'm with y'all. But for this year, we had some pretty decent fights. And we had some stupid ass fights, you know, Canelo Khan, Kell Brook, Triple G. But we also had Orlando Salido, Francisco Vargas. We just had Jermell Charlo, Julian Williams. You know what I'm saying? We had Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev. We had Terrence Crawford, my man, Victor Postol. We had some good fights this year. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for the year, I think it was okay. But boxing as a whole, yeah, we got to do way better.
Adrian. I think you muted yourself.
Now she muted herself.
Yeah, I can't hear that. No, we still can't hear you. Something must have happened with her mic. All right, she'll unmute herself. Let me get my take. I thought 2016 was okay. There wasn't enough big fights, and there wasn't enough top guys fighting. A lot of the top guys would only fight one time, and then we wouldn't see them for a long, long time. There wasn't a lot of big fights like we're normally used to big fight after big fight after big fight. There wasn't a lot of big fights, and the fights that we did get that were like not necessarily a big fight, but the fight that we did get that were competitive, it was you know, I agree with everybody though. It's been a lot of fuckery in boxing for a very, very, very long time. Boxing is taking a turn, I want to say somewhere around 90, in between 95 and 2000. Boxing took a turn, and the model for boxing is they're selling the commercial aspect of boxing, which is the knockout, but the actual aspect of boxing, which is the technical sport of it, is not being sold to the fans. And you know, pretty much, as you know, as far as I'm concerned, as long as people will go pay for watch their fighter fight, regardless of what he do, then we always gonna have this. I've said it before. I want to see all these dudes get their ass off Twitter. Stop being on Twitter. Get off Twitter. Get off Instagram. Get your ass in the goddamn gym, and you know what I'm saying. And make a fight. You know, just get off. Do that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. You go ahead, Adrian. Okay. Go ahead, Adrian.
Well, what I was gonna say was, I think that a lot of these guys, of course, they're holding on to those belts, and they're being real picky about who they fight and who they want to fight, someone that they feel they can beat. And I tell you, a lot of them are scared of losing.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, back in the day, when you had those guys that were fighting every 2-3 months, well, you're not going to see that nowadays at all. But those guys were not there was nothing about the money. There was nothing about this person isn't good enough, or they haven't they're too green, all this kind of talk. You know, they would fight each other, period. No matter who it was, they would fight. And if they lost, they lost, but that still didn't make them depreciate their value. And now these guys act like the only thing they want to do is fight someone that they know they can beat. And that is extremely frustrating. You cannot see a good fight because everybody's hanging on to that belt, sitting back, waiting to see, well, you know what, if he loses this fight, then I'm going to fight him next.
Nope.
You know, this is ridiculous. I've never seen so many guys afraid to fight each other.
Listen, I'm reading a book at the moment. I can't remember what the book is called, but it's by a guy called A.C. Lane. The beginning part of it was referring to Sugar Ray Robinson and saying that if he fought like 12 or 13 times in a year, he would consider himself inactive. That's
right.
Yeah. Right now, you struggle to get real champions fighting even 3 or 4 times a year. Unfortunately, we don't have competitions or tournaments like they used to have in the 80s and 90s. The last we had was the Super 6. That took like 2 years to complete. You could just get 16 guys, and each of them have 4 fights for the year. You could complete that tournament within a year. 4 fights of the year, and that's it, done. You see the champion. Wow.
And you know, I think there should be a time limit on how long they can have those belts. You know, something's going to happen where they need to have a limit. And if they don't fight or continuously fight or stay fighting on a regular basis, I know it sounds out there, but they need to have it taken away. This is ridiculous. I've never heard of people holding on to a belt as long as these guys have. And then they pamper them. Yeah. You know, they pamper these boxers.
Yeah. I want to piggyback off of what Adrian said. And I had meant to do a video on this shit, man. It just, I kept putting it back. A lot of these cats don't have that fighter's mentality. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got big ups to Julian Williams. I predicted Jamal Charlo was going to beat Julian Williams. You know what I'm saying? I've been predicting that for months. But I still have a newfound respect for Julian Williams because this is a motherfucker that was like, I'm going to fight anybody I need to fight to become the guy I want to become. You know what I'm saying? I want the respect that I feel like I deserve. So I'm going to go in there with a Charlo. You know what I'm saying? And then, shit, if I lose, win or lose, I'm going to try to go in there with the next best motherfucker that's in the division. A lot of these people or these young fighters today, they don't have that mentality. It's all about money. It's all about breaking bread. It's all about what can I do? You know, what's the least that I could do to make the most money? You know what I'm saying? That's the fucking problem. And if you have the right backing, like Canelo does, for example, right now, or if, you know, like Triple G does with K2. K2's doing a hell of a job with Triple G. Why? Because he has acquired the type of fan base that if this motherfucker announces tomorrow that he's fighting Ben Affleck, all the fans will give you a reason for why Ben Affleck is the right competitor for Triple G. Until you fucking turn blue, why Ben Affleck is an actual good competitor. You know what I'm saying? So that's the fucking problem, man. It's the fact that these fighters are getting pushed the direction of money is more important than legacy. So they don't have the fighter's mentality anymore.
You're right.
Hey, Ingram, let's get your take on 2016.
3 letters. PPV, sorry. Pay-per-view. That's it. How many ridiculous pay-per-view events have we seen this year? I remember when pay-per-view meant something. Today, pay-per-views are absolute mockery. And for us, the boxing purists that want to see a good fight, let's just start with our last pay-per-view show, which should have been just a Saturday night fight. Joshua versus Molina. Now, is that a pay-per-view event? I asked the panel.
No.
Derek Chisora versus Dillian White. Great fight. Is it worth pay-per-view?
No.
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 The great fight between Luis Ortiz and Dave Allen. Pay-per-view?
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Dave. I pay to watch Dave. I pay to watch Dave.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz is worth paying for the watch.
Oh yeah, of course you say that.
There's slight biasness in the room, and I can understand. But no, it's not pay-per-view. You pay to go and see Dave, get your ticket and go watch Dave fight. But no, it's not a pay-per-view event. You understand where I'm coming from, Asgard, with all due respect.
But certain fights are bad enough that you have to pay your TV license to watch, let alone pay pay-per-view.
Hey, why about our ITV pay-per-view? Oh my God.
Oh, we're going there. We're going there. We're going there.
Oh,
We're going to go there. Well, hold on. We haven't finished yet. So we have Brook versus Golovkin. The guy has moved up 2 weight divisions, proven nothing at middleweight against the biggest punch or the biggest punch in the middleweight division. We knew what was going to happen. Only Sky Sports are the only panel that will tell you, I can see how a guy who's got no chance of winning a fight can win a fight. Sky Sports, the only team I know, will say, you know, I can see how he win this fight. He stands no chance. Khan versus Canelo. I can see how Khan's going to beat Canelo, but we all knew, we were all waiting for that right hand to come from Canelo and lay him out flat. And what happened? Got starched. I mean, like, for me, if you're going to put pay-per-view on, put it on and make it be worth something. Kovalev versus Ward wasn't pay-per-view, but Joshua versus Molina is. Okay, all right, hold on. You have a fight like Carl Frampton versus Santa Cruz, which was a very good fight, not pay-per-view, but again, Dave Allen versus no disrespect to Dave or Luis Ortiz is worth pay-per-view. It's not. I'm sorry. So pay-per-view is a big issue here. Fighters getting credit for doing nothing.
Right.
That's another thing. Yeah. And today I heard the biggest load of garbage. Oh, after I beat Klitschko, I'm going to be a legend. Wait. What? Wait, hold on. I thought a legend was a person that had done something for years and years, had grafted at their sport and beat the best that they did, or they challenged against the best, or they had some sort of time about them. Joshua beats Klitschko, he becomes a legend.
Yeah, he actually.
In whose eyes?
I actually thought a legend was somebody that was no longer doing.
Well, that's another thing as well. Maybe he's a legend for getting beat by Klitschko. I don't know.
Hey, that's where I'm at too.
So, I mean, but that's another conversation altogether. Now we've got ITV, and they've come out. They thought, right, we're going to come up with a pay-per-view package, and the pay-per-view package we're going to give you is Chris Eubank Jr. step up to super middleweight against who? A guy that fought Daniel Gill for the IBO super middleweight championship of the world. And your point is, see, this is going to turn a lot of boxing fans away. The casuals, the market is now geared towards the casuals. the promoters don't care about us. Understand that. They don't care about us in this room. All they care about is the casuals.
Well,
that's what they care about.
Well, see, I told you why though. See, the problem is we're owed money. They know we're gonna watch. Yeah. They're not concerned with us. They want that new money. See, you know, when you know, hey, out of all the hardcores, out of all of the dedicated purists like us, a good, you know, they'll support and watch it because they love the sport. So we ain't concerned with them. We want this new money over here. And as long as that mind frame is there, you're going to get what you get.
Here's another thing. I just thought about this. Martin Murray, George Groves. How the hell can these guys be getting 4 world title shots? 4 world title shots. You're not good enough. You're crap. You're not good enough. That's you're not good enough.
That's the BJ Flores blueprint. And
right.
Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
No, that's the Matt Macklin blueprint. Because every month Matt Macklin was in a world title fight.
Yeah.
Next time he's going to win the world title. No, he's not. He's not going to win the world title. He's not good enough. When you go and say he's not good enough, but he's going to win a world title.
This is the joke as well. When they're on TV, and I could never have this, they put underneath world title contender.
Well, you know what?
Basically,
let me ask.
You tried but never made it.
You know what? Let me ask the panel this question.
One more final thing. One more final. Right? You're in a panel. You've got a panel of people, and they're talking, and half of them have never fought at world level. Majority of them have got smashed at world level, but they're experts about boxing. I don't quite understand how these people are experts at world championship boxing. You know, you get smashed as soon as you get to that level. Surely you want to hear from somebody who's achieved something at the sport.
Right, exactly.
Done something at the sport. Like, for example, a Tyson Fury, right? That's the man that should be having live on television talking about what it's like to beat a world champion, a champion that's been around for 10 years. Huh? Listen to him, because he's done it. No, we have to sit down and listen to Paul Smith. What?
Jim Lampley.
Yeah, Jim Lampley.
At least Jim Lampley is bang bang and hard right hand.
Bang bang.
That's why, you know what? That's why I was gonna go with. I was gonna pose this panel to the question: do you think sometime the commentary that you hear is geared toward the casuals when they say it? I'm gonna start off with you, Asgar.
It's funny you should say that. I remember when Mike Tyson was towards the end of his career, and Barry McGuigan used to always slate Mike Tyson. One day we bumped into Barry McGuigan, and I said, Barry, look, why do you always slate off Mike Tyson? He goes, hey, I love Mike Tyson, but that's what I'm paid to say, and that's what keeps them in their job, and that's the name of the game.
Yep.
Did you notice how all the Sky team were bigging up? Who was it that was bigging up? They were saying it was the greatest. Who was it?
Not Callum Smith.
No, not Callum Smith. It was someone else where they was trying to big up all their Sky fighters when it was the most pathetic fight in history. And you're like, come on, don't mug us off that bad. But you know what it is? It's because BT Sport have joined up with Box Nation and they've just slapped slapped Sky in the face. So you know what? We're the big boys now. Sky are desperate to attract viewers, or they're trying to cash in. Hence why we're getting these David Hay versus Bellew. We've got mixed matches. Mixed matches. It's a joke.
Okay. Blood boxing.
Yeah, man. Let me just throw something in real quick about this pay-per-view stuff that you all were talking about earlier here. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the pay-per-view, first of all, you have 2 perspectives when it comes to the pay-per-view. You have the fanboy perspective, and then you have more of the purist perspective, okay? Like, we as purists, we know that Cole versus Ward should have been a pay-per-view worthy fight. But in the atmosphere that we have now, it doesn't really reflect the truth, because they've devalued the belt, and this is not the same atmosphere that we saw 25 years ago. So in my opinion, man, is all these pay-per-view fights they're putting on now, they shouldn't even have pay-per-view, man. That's right. Just my personal opinion on that. As far as I think your question was something about commentating is biased or something like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course it is. It only takes one bad apple to ruin the whole bunch, okay, for me. I like old school commentators. Like, where's Sean O'Grady at? Where's Bobby Chaz at? Where's Kevin Kelly at? These guys are expert talkers, okay? Kevin Kelly's an excellent commentator, okay? So put these guys back on TV. In every other sport, you have former athletes who participated in the sport, not guys like this, what's that guy's name, Lampley, over there at HBO. You know, he's full of shit to me. Put the real fighters on there. Put the fighters, give them jobs. They need jobs anyway. Why is running around? You have Chris Bird, you know, doing a YouTube show and nobody even will watch his show. That's ridiculous. And what, you're gonna go listen to this Lampley guy? No, this is fucking crazy to me. Promote these guys better. Yeah, they're biased as fuck because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why.
Exactly.
What about when Top Rank had Stephen A. Smith doing the fight? Never did a fight.
Oh, hell man, fuck
that. Right there. Perfect example.
You know? All right, we're going to go over to Melissa. Let's get your take on how do you feel about the commentary that you've been hearing? Do you think that they are gearing things toward the casuals?
Well, I know for a fact because I've had a lot of dealings with Sky Sports, so I know I'm not going to say anything off record, obviously.
Right.
But of course, it's biased, and it's 100% people running on the money train. They don't want to get off. They're not going to say anything against the people up at the top. That's 100% a fact. But what I think that's going to change is not down to, like, for example, us as the hardcore fans. I'm very new, but I'm very hardcore about it. I feel like it's down to the athletes. So it's really down to the boxers that's going to make a change. It's if they're trained in the right way and if they're shown that you know what to do things properly, then there's going to be one courageous boxer that's one day going to hold up a belt and say, you know what, sod this, but I've won it, but I don't want this belt, and this is the reason why. And they're going to change things. It's going to take someone in the division, either a heavyweight or the lower divisions, to say enough is enough. And if they're clever enough, they'll get the whole world to watch while they're doing it. And that's the only way I can see it really changing. But of course,
I kind of see that already happening with Canelo. This motherfucker getting belts and vacating and shit all over the place because he knows he's still gonna get the money that he's looking for. He don't need to be a champion.
If he's saying,
so,
but is he holding a mic and is he actually stating it? Because a lot of people talk about it behind the scenes, but no one's standing on a stage on a platform and has the balls to say this is how it is.
Well, yeah, he's not saying it in your context. You're actually wanting it to happen as a positive for the sport. It's the other way around with Canelo. Okay. He's just vacating belts and shit because he knows he's gonna get the viewership and he's gonna get the money. He doesn't need to be champion. You know what I'm saying? Like he just fought. Go ahead.
He's not doing it for the right reasons then.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
So am I? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Has anyone ever just said it?
No, not that I know of.
The only person that ever came close is when Bernard Hopkins said, "Belts don't make me who I am. I make me who I am." That was the closest I've ever heard anybody come to.
Hey, no. When Tyson won the title, Ingram was in conversation saying he should vacate all the belts and hold on to the ring belt. And that was in discussion. And it was something that everyone was considering because he was right. Because the only belt that means anything is the man that beat the man, which is the lineal, the ring belt. And I agree. I thought that would have been a power move. So Ingram did shout at her. Yeah.
I told them, I said to him, I did the video as soon as I knew the IBF was going to strip him. I did a message to Team Fury, did it out loud, said, listen, drop them damn belts, take the Ring Magazine belt and make a legacy for yourself and show the world you're the champion and you're going to beat everyone you need to beat and make something of the Ring Magazine belt. Oh no. What ended up happening? They had to vacate the belts anyway. So
as long as you're not doing it for the wrong reason, okay? Like Riddick Bowe dumping the belt to avoid Lennox Lewis. Or Canelo, for instance, like with this shit, belts to avoid total competition. These guys vacate belts to avoid competition. So that's not for the right reason.
Yeah.
For something that's positive, yeah, but come on, man.
Well, I want to
make power from the belt. That's what it's doing.
That was a great point you brought up, Melissa. Go ahead, Ingram. You was about to say something?
I'm just going to say, I'm going to mention some fights for people to consider. There's fight news I've got, and I don't want to make sure I don't forget the fights that are being looked at the moment. First fight that's been considered is Nathan Cleverly against Andre Ward. That's been seriously
considered.
Hearing
Nathan's name is just like, come on.
So I'll just let you know for 2017, Nathan Cleverly versus
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward, top of the bill, as pay-per-view event with rematches with Chisora and White 2, Buglioni versus Burton 2. So I just thought I'd let you know that is one of some of the news going through there. Just thought I'd let you know about it. So I know the catchweight fight between Cotto and Kirkland 153, and Wolf is back with Kirkland. So yeah, just some fights for you guys to discuss amongst, and yeah, there you go.
All right, we'll come back to that 78 Sports, man. Give me your take on what we talking about. What we talking about, man? You messed my head up with this.
Commentator.
Yeah,
that's the 2017 that you have to look forward to.
Well, I think the commentators definitely have geared their conversation towards the casual fan, because, you know, when you have a guy, an artist like Guillermo Rigondeaux in the ring, okay, and he is painting this perfect picture for you, and you have a commentator telling the crowd, you're telling your own audience that this is boring. This is trash. Oh, I wouldn't blame people if they change the channel right now. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I think the best person that I see on television doing the commentary work is, to me, Paulie Malignaggi. Okay, yes. I enjoy Paulie because Paulie explains what's going on in the ring so if a casual is watching, he knows that the punch that just landed was a catch and shoot. He knows that this guy is pivoting. He understands these type of things. He understands how this guy set up this punch or that punch, or got out of the way of this punch. It's not just HBO tends to, and a lot of other commentators, they tend to be knockout and power crazy. And all they can it's easier for them to explain a fight when they can say, oh, he just hit him. He knocked him down. And you're like, okay. Like how did he hit him? How did he like what the hell is going on? So that I think they make it hard for casual fans to understand the art and the sport of boxing, you know what I mean? And they make it so, and even with the UFC, that's another thing that they got going good for them, is they have educated commentators that are explaining if you're watching the UFC for the first time and you see two guys on the mat, and you're like, what the fuck is this? You know? And then they're explaining, okay, right now he's trying to get him in arm bar. Okay, right now, watch out for watch. If he moves a little bit to the left, he's gonna get him in this. So you're understanding what's actually happening. It's actually they're positioning for they're jostling for better positions. And in boxing, I think that a lot of commentators have gotten away for that. And it's just more so just names. Like Jim Lampley should have been fired a long time ago. I mean, I don't even know why he's still there.
He should have. Hell yeah.
Right. I'm gonna switch it up. And I'm gonna go to AJ. I'm gonna ask you this, man. When you with everything that we know what's going on right now, okay, in the sport of boxing, do you feel that the majority of this that's going on is because fighters have so many different outlets to reach to reach so many people now, the internet, Twitter, and all that? Do you feel that a lot of this is geared because they know, hey, you know what, I can say this and 1,000 people will put it out there for me?
I think it's down to, and this is on a bigger scale, not just boxing, but sport as a whole has been watered down. And almost to the degree of the concept of being a man has been watered down and played down. That these guys aren't competitive anymore. These guys want to be looked after and pampered and be the superstar without actually putting in any work or any effort. It's the whole mentality, you know, everyone wants something for nothing. They don't look. It's like they don't get inspired by Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, and all the greats that came before them. They don't get inspired by it and say, "Oh, you know what? I want to do. I want to be like them, and I'm going to do that." And look at their training. It's like they say, "Yeah, I just want to be like them, but I just want to be like them because I've said it." So Facebook, Instagram, and the Snapchat. The fact that some of these guys are constantly on it 24/7 just shows kind of their mentality and where their heads at. And most of them, you don't even take for what they're saying, even though I can tell. Most of them are very narcissistic. They just put pictures literally of themselves and people just talking about them and complimenting them. And you have to remember, it's not boxing fans anymore. It's fans of the personality. So it could be an AJ Carter fan or a David Haye fan or Anthony Joshua fan. They're fans of that person. So no matter what that person does, as far as the fans concerned, it cannot be wrong. And that's what's hurting the sport. It's a combination of the individuals themselves, but also us as fans. Yeah, we're going to watch, but the general public, they're going to put up with it. If they change their mindset, then the promoters will have to change what they're doing. But unfortunately, promoters will try their best to make as much money as possible, and the fans will put up with it. So,
I agree. 2K, my man, I got a question for you. I'm gonna run this by you because I know we talked about it. I want these people to hear what you have to say. Do you think the reason why promoters are getting away with what they're getting away with, and commentators are getting away with what they're getting away with, and the networks and the organization is because the fighters aren't standing up saying, "Hey man, fuck that. That's not right. That's not who I am and what I do."
Yeah, to an extent, because the fighters are being suppressed by their management. You know what I'm saying? Your management is gonna be like, "Nah, that's not the right thing to say." You know, this, that, et cetera, et cetera. And the fighter is in belief that pretty much 99% of the time that their management has their best interests, you know what I'm saying, for their career. So they're going to follow what they say. And what we've spoken about in terms of this is there's a lot of fighters out there that really need to be on some crazy shit out there just to get fights. For example, Demetrius Andrade, I'm sorry, fam. He needs to do what Derek Chisora did to Dillian White, pick up a fucking table and throw it at Jamal Charlo on some shit like that. That's how he gets his fights. You know what I'm saying? Like what Erislandy Lara did to Canelo, that's how he's going to get his fights. These guys, I mean, they're too good where motherfuckers will duck them so that they don't lose marketability. You know what I'm saying? They take an L to these guys, they lose marketability. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but let me give you an example. For example, the guy that I interviewed, AC Clark, man, he's a manager out here. He talks about that all the time. You know what I'm saying? He talks about how that he's dealt with, and for fighters that he manages, like James De La Rosa, he said that these guys will tell these fighters one thing, then behind the scenes have a completely different agenda. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but he said that shit is rampant in boxing. It's always like that. So when you got a guy like Bob Arum who has signed Guillermo Rigondeaux, he inadvertently put Rigo in the ring with the 2012 Fighter of the fucking Year, who HBO and himself had huge plans for, and he fucked around and put the jawbreaker in the ring with him, and he whooped his ass. You know what I'm saying? And then he publicly comes out and says, "I can't market Rigo." The reason why you don't hear Rigo say shit is because behind the scenes, he probably told Rigo, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do, but this is gonna get you more money." Or here's a check. Don't say shit. So that's the fucking problem, man. And that's what I was saying about Luis Ortiz. He needs to come out and say some shit. Rigo needs to say some shit. Andre needs to say some shit. Andre needs to leave fucking Banner Promotions and go to a real promoter. It's a lot of things out there, man, that are the cause for that, man. I agree, it is.
Okay, Adrian.
Yeah.
I got one from you. You have been following boxing, like you said. You go way back. What is it about these fighters today that you see that they're lacking, that the fighters that we all loved and heard about have? What is it that these guys are lacking?
Well, I think they are lacking a lot of respect for the sport. They don't have as much respect for the sport that the old school boxers did. And I think that they don't have the heart, and they're not serious about the sport, period. Right now, they are so concerned about their image and how they're looked upon than they are about fighting. And the old school boxers, again, would fight whoever they could fight. No questions. There was never any argument about money. No argument about where they're going to fight. Like now, you know, I got to fight in my city. I have to have my fan base behind me. Or holding on to a belt forever before you get a fight. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times back then, those boxers would tell you who they want to fight, and they would fight that fighter, period. These guys nowadays, they just sit back and wait for someone to tell them who they're going to box and when they're going to box. There are a lot of boxers out there right now who are in PBC's stable that could be boxing. There's so many of them in PBC's stable. Why aren't they boxing each other? I don't get that. I understand there's a little rift between Aram and what's his name? I'm sorry, Heyman, yeah. And I don't understand why it is that they can't make these fights. Now, I'm really glad to see, what's his name, Richard Schaefer back in the business, because he gave us that last card that we had. And with as many boxers as there are now, not only could we have some good fights, but we could have some great undercards.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have really good undercards, and now, I mean, with the exception of this last one, we don't have that. You know, you got so many boxers now that are just not doing anything. We got Bradley. I think Victor Ortiz is supposed to be fighting someone, but you never know what's going to happen with Victor Ortiz. He might break down within the second or third round, you know, or stop fighting. I mean, that's just what he does. So I don't even understand why they're even giving him another shot.
He's all right. Victor Ortiz is all right. He's got a movie career to think about. He's okay.
Right.
Well, you know, and then as far as the commentators go, their main goal is to get behind one or two boxers and push them out there. When you look at Letterman's card on a fight, what's the first thing you say? What fight is he looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I'll sit there and say, I don't, but because he has his favorite. When they go into those fights, they know exactly who they're going to push. They want to push and who they want to win that fight. And for them to do Rigo the way they did Rigo, I mean, that really ticked me off, because here we have an excellent technical boxer. He is just good. And for Bob Arum to come out there and say that about his own boxer, you know, I would have took his ass to court. I'm sorry. But you're supposed to be promoting me, and you sit up here telling people that I'm boring? Are you kidding? But you know what? The casual fans nowadays are so dumb, and I hate to say that, but they are so dumb. They'll go into these rooms and start putting fighters together, saying, well, what about this? What do you think, who will win this fight? And they're not even in the same division. And you go, what are they looking at?
Yep.
You
I
know?
just recently heard Vasyl Lomachenko would knock out Floyd Mayweather.
I mean,
make no fucking sense, man.
You know, and then if you're really into boxing, those kind of rooms, I don't even bother with. I had to just completely get away from some of those rooms, because some of the stuff they were saying was ridiculous. And I tell you what, a lot of people would I'm going to tell you how the casuals are. They, like you say, they'll get one fighter and no one can beat that fighter.
Yep.
They don't look at other boxers. They don't look at other divisions. They just say, my fighter can beat anyone. And what I was really surprised at, I know in the beginning when Canelo turned down the fight for Triple G, they should have been all over him. They should still be over him, all over him now for that.
Well, that's not going to happen. I said that's not going to happen.
Well, we talked about that. We talked about because that's Oscar's golden egg.
Right.
Yep.
That's his golden egg. He can't let anyone come in there and beat Canelo.
Exactly.
But Canelo can be beaten. He can be beaten.
That's true. Ingram,
Austin Trout gave him a hard time.
Hold on, Adrian. Okay, hold on, Adrian. Go ahead, Ingram.
I wasn't saying anything.
You won't say anything.
No. I'm listening.
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
About?
What can we do to change all of this? I mean, because the way it sounds like the whole thing with boxing got to be blown up to start from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like.
I don't think so. There's certain things potentially that Sky in this country, Sky or Box Nation could do the same way over in America, Golden Boy or PBC could do. I don't want to kind of say those ideas, so I'm hoping to possibly sell them. But it's very easy. It's just all it is just pride and ego and bullshit. That's all.
Asgard, what do you think? What do you think? Because I'm of the opinion. You know what? Blow this shit up and let's start over. What do you think?
Of what?
I mean, to get everything back to what we remember boxing used to be. Because right now, what you have going on right now in boxing is, first of all, you got too many belts. You got the WBA, then the interim, the silver, the across the pond, the backyard, the beyond down the block champion.
No. It's very simple. You've got to draw a line between the real boxing fans and those that haven't got a flipping clue boxing fans. Okay? No, I'm being serious. Now, you've got people now come on, Dave TV.
Yeah.
That says it all. You've got an MMA fighter on the cover of Ring magazine.
Yes, that pissed me off. Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, who do we blame? Do we blame the promoters? No, because the promoters are paid and told what to do by the broadcasters, Sky. These are the people. They're manipulating the masses. How do they do that? By coming out with shit like this. Yeah, they're people, because money talks. Money, they pay them to say whatever they need. Like you says, Kevin Kelly. Why isn't he on TV? Because money talks.
He knows a good commentator, Tim Cable. He just calls it down the middle.
Yeah, but he's not around, is he?
Well, that's because they don't want someone to
that's right, because they want to control the masses. Now, it's all political. It's all manipulation. But listen, for me, I'm always entitled to my opinion. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But for those who want to be, like I said, ex-WWE viewers who have grown up now and moved on to boxing, this is what Sky's caught. Sky's taught them to that. And no disrespect to Anthony Joshua, and Molina versus Molina, that wasn't a pay-per-view fight, but people still turned up. They've got the little deal with StubHub, who buy all the tickets, make out that, yeah, it's a packed venue. Of course it was a packed venue, because people are giving away free tickets. But if you actually look at the pay-per-view sales, it wasn't that high. Eddie Hearns doesn't sell big pay-per-views. It's facts. But people don't know this. It's just the way it's manipulated. It's a farce. And there's nothing that we can do. We can give our opinion, but do people give a shit? No, they don't. So our best bet is just to support who we think's the best and just stick with that. And you know what the biggest problem in boxing is? And I'll tell you this. People have changed their passion to glory. People don't want to be world champion. People don't want to be the best. People want this. Right. It's glory. They want to be famous. They want to be liked. I'd rather be hated. I'd rather be like Muhammad Ali, stood my ground. You understand? Be a man. Stand up for yourself. Oh, be a woman. Stand up for yourself. But it's best to, what did it say? Best to die with principle than have none, than live with none. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hold hold that thought, Asgard. I want to go to 78 because you touched upon something. Is what he's saying similar to what? Remember when Tim Bradley said, "What do I need 2 belts for because of sanctioning fees?" Is statements like that and thought process like that similar, kind of leading us to what Asgard was talking about?
Absolutely, and it's like this. This is how I see it. What the fighters today lack is something that the fighters before had. It's 2 things. It's called testicles. Okay, these fighters today. First of all, they have. Listen, I'm all for independence, fighters taking over their careers and being more and not getting robbed by these promoters and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't think a fighter should be in control until you earn it. I think it has to be some type. You can't be in control of just cherry picking constantly. It has to be like a mandatory every 4 years, every division there's a tournament. Every 4 years, mandatory, right? So that we know who the champion is at all times. At least every 4 years, we got to do that. And when you have a guy like Timothy Bradley, who he's a warrior and everything, and then he comes out and says, "Well, why would I fight Earl Spence for what? What I need 2 belts for? That's 2 sanctioning fees." You know what? Fine. I would never ever buy another pay-per-view with you on it ever again. When you say something like that, okay? And you got Billy Joe Saunders, okay? This guy wanted to fight me, but won't fight Golovkin. This guy said
you and Dan Raphael.
Right. This guy said he was gonna slap me, but when you ask him about Golovkin, he say, "Oh well, Golovkin will beat the shit out of me and Chris Eubanks in the same day." And like, what kind of shit is this guy talking about? Right? He's the WBO champion, holding on to that belt for dear life, walking around at 200 pounds. And then, comes in there fighting some guy. I don't even know who the guy was, man.
Wolverine.
Who was it?
Wolverine.
Yeah, some bum. He fought some bum and he got beat up. And then now what's he doing? And he's talking about I need a couple more fights before I can fight Golovkin. This is ridiculous, man.
Hold on. Let me speak in Billy Joe's defense, yeah?
Go ahead.
Okay. It was a bad day in the office, but he still won. Yeah, he agreed. He's his own critic, yeah? Billy Joe is still undefeated. He's still WBO champion. And yeah, he says some things that most don't like. He says things that some do like. But until he's beaten, we've got to give him that respect.
Well, I would respect him if he fought Golovkin and lost. If he fought. See, even if you try, okay, win or lose, you deserve your respect. When you go in there and do what Eric Molina did, I don't respect you. Okay, because you went in there with Anthony Joshua, and you look like Michael Spinks looking at Mike Tyson. You were terrified. Eric Molina got into the fetal position when he saw Anthony Joshua. He didn't try, and I don't respect. And I think that even with Billy Joe Saunders,
let's just go back. Let's rewind the whole thing. Yeah. Now let's just talk about Charles Martin and Anthony Joshua. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at Anthony. Martin had just won the title, and he was offered a chance. He was given the fight with AJ. Now anyone that's just won the title surely would have had a rematch clause in his contract. Am I right? Surely, of course you would. Yeah.
Right.
But he didn't. And when he fell on the floor, he smiled. Now, if you look at his latest videos, like he's high on something. You could tell it's all about this. You can buy world titles. It's all about this. World titles are just PR stunts. It's just to sell to the dumb public. Look, I'm a world champion. Now, we all know Triple G's the man. Me personally, as a boxer, if I was in his division and I was a world champion and he was a world champion, I would want to fight him. If he beats me, I'd come back again. And I'll keep coming back until I can't come back no more. And then if he still beats me, I'll say, you know what? You are the best. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. But it's been taken over. What I'm saying is Billy Joe Saunders is after Eubanks. That's the big seller. Go back to fast forward back to Billy Joe.
I want to jump in just for 1 second on this Billy Joe Saunders thing. He did himself no favors. He should have kept his fat mouth shut. And I love Billy Joe, right? He's a good friend of mine. Should have kept his big mouth shut. You don't go on national television or on a press conference and say, well, he beat me and you on the same night. You don't say that. You don't, as a boxer, go out and say he's gonna beat me. And the fact that Billy Joe said that and had the balls to say that, he's forever going to be ridiculed for that point. And that's a comment he's never going to be able to get rid of, because he said that Golovkin would beat him up. So if you make a statement like that,
and then
until you face Golovkin, you are a coward. That's it. And you can't change that perception, because that's what you've said. You've sold yourself as the man who's scared of fighting Golovkin because he's going to beat you up. That is what Billy Joe said. I love Billy Joe, but at the end of the day, if the man makes comments like that, he's got to be accountable. So
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Let's go back to what Carl Froch said.
About Golovkin, too big, was it? Swerve Golovkin like a plague.
Absolutely. And this is a Sky Sports commentator. So what? How?
Yeah, but there's
Carl Froch is in a
Carl Froch.
Yeah,
Carl
he's
Froch actually faced the best.
Yeah,
there's a difference. He's
in a different division and he's fucking retired. I mean, that's different. That's not. You can't compare the two.
Wait a minute. Hold on, AJ.
He doesn't actually. He faced the best when he was in the tournament. He didn't go out and face the best after the Super Six.
Bute.
He beat Bute.
He beat Bute. And Bute was considered the man.
And he fought George Groves when he didn't have to.
He fought George Groves twice.
He didn't have to fight George Groves either.
Go on, you got to be that bad to
call. Hold on. Can I just say something before you know? Because I've not got long left in my battery. Can I just say a few things?
Yes, go ahead.
Am I the only person in the world that thought today's press conference with AJ and bloody Lad was the most boringest press conference ever?
Oh my God! I thought they were getting ready to dance. I'm serious. That was just one of the nicest press conferences.
You know what? I knew Ingram invited me from the other day to come to do this interview. So I made sure that I didn't watch it just in case I'd have fallen asleep. I'll still be asleep now. But I just assumed that that's what it's going to be, and obviously you guys are.
No. And let's go back to what you guys said about if he beats Vlad, he'll be known as a legend.
He'll be known as a legend.
Okay, no. Fair comment. He's got a point. So what does that make Tyson Fury?
A super legend.
Super legend.
Hold on, fellas. I'm going to move over to Melissa for a second, but before I do, I want to say this. That Molina-Joshua fight, I swear to God, when Molina went down in the corner, I thought he looked at his people and asked them, did the check cash yet? And when they said no, he got back up and went back out there. I swear to God, I think that's what he did. I'm going to go to Melissa. Melissa, being a publicist and someone involved in boxing and going to have to deal with promoters, everything that these guys are saying, everything being about money, how does that make you feel knowing that, you trying to get your guy the best fights, but instead of getting the best fights, they want, the fights that's worth the most money. So your guy ain't going to get the fight because he don't bring that money.
Well, because we have to be a bit of a realist when it is about the money, really.
It is about the money. It is 100%.
And Asghar, I mean, everything you're saying, understanding and agreeing with, but you have to understand, I'm in the middle of the client and the promoter. So I'm seeing it from both sides. And I can speak from experience that the promoter has said one thing to us going in towards a fight, and a fight hasn't gone the way we wanted, and then they suddenly change their minds. So I always feel like I'm going to have to watch what I say, but at the same time, the interest is my client. It's not the promoter. So I have to look out for them. And
so it becomes a conflict of interest.
Absolutely. But that's the thing, is for me, I've seen it with sponsorships. Like they say to you, oh, would you like to sponsor my client? First question, how many Twitter followers have they got? How many Instagram followers have they got? Hold on a second.
Oh, make no sense.
Stand for what?
Can they fight? That's the first question. Can they fight?
Exactly.
They don't care if they can fight. Look, men aren't men anymore. It just doesn't exist. Just in box. Sorry, not to you guys. I'm saying like,
no, that's good.
You know what I mean? Like these up and coming boxers. They're like pretty boys. They want to drive around in Ferraris. They want to find out a famous person and hang out with them. We see it, AJ, we see it all the time, right? All the time. And because we're always watching our rivals and we're always watching what everyone's doing. So yes, I understand that my fighters aren't always going to get what they want, but we just have to hang on in there and kind of play the game to a degree. and get to a certain level, then when we get to a certain level, that's when we can sting them and say, well, you thought you had us, but you actually don't.
Well, can I just make another point? Which,
go ahead.
You know, in terms of Anthony Joshua, listen, let's make no mistake. He is a serious talent. Yeah, he is still learning. He's still young, and believe me, I'm all for him. You know, he's a great Britain fighter. I love him. But to compare yourself as a legend, it's insulting. It's like when he won the IBF, he compared himself to Muhammad Ali. Now, you don't blame him, you blame the PR. PR needs to be involved. You know, because we had the same issue with Tyson Fury. You know, certain things were said, certain things Billy Joe said, certain things many boxers say. So is it a case of blame them, or do you blame the management, or do you blame the PR, or do you blame the promoter? For the promoter, they want him to say controversial things because it sells.
But Asghar, that's what happens though. The PR company is being paid by the promoter. So the PR company are being instructed what to do, whereas back in the day, PR, you would be the driving force behind it. You would just let people don't let people do their jobs. That's it.
I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that.
Blood boxing. To piggyback off what everybody was saying.
Well, you know,
go ahead.
Only thing I can say, man, about the game today is that the fighters, you asked the question earlier about what do the fighters lack today and all of that. Well, I agree. They lack the nuts, of course. They lack the drive. They lack the will. For them, it's all about the money. It's about popularity. And, don't let them have that Don't let them be trying to hold on to that little undefeated because now we're really manipulating some variables here. You know, they have disrespect for the belt. You know, how could you call yourself a champion when 3 other guys are going around saying that they're also the welterweight champion? That right there is the equivalent of a false prophet. And you know what? They want this big money, okay? But to get that big money, they got to go out there and they got to go out there and actually get the fucking belts, man. Go out and get all the belts and stand up for something. That's what's going to separate a fighter, to me. For me as a fan, you know, hey, for the next man, whatever.
Okay. Let me run this by you for 1 second. Because you mentioned about having that O. Now, there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that I like and love. They didn't got no O's behind their name, but they still went on to become legends of the sport. So what has happened where they got this shit in their head that being undefeated equates to money? I don't remember that. I don't know where
that. Money Mayweather, but like my man said earlier, he was pretty boy Floyd before then.
That's right.
Back in the day, he did do his thing, man, in the smaller weights. And he came at a time where social media was just coming around, okay?
Right.
So it was convenient for him to do that, but it's not convenient for all these false prophets to go around trying to do what he did, because that was a different time period, okay?
Right.
And he put in work.
But you know what? They don't know anything about when Floyd first started fighting. They don't go back and look. You know, if you talk to a casual will say that Floyd has never fought anyone.
Yeah.
But we all know who Floyd fought when he first came out of the Olympics.
But can we say this? Let's all agree. Well, you can agree with me. But I think Floyd is probably one of, or if not the greatest of all time. That's in my opinion. So he's got a bragging right to say whatever he says, call himself whatever he wants, because he's proven himself.
He probably is the greatest businessman in boxing, or was the greatest businessman in boxing, and probably the biggest. I don't know. He has to be one of the greatest entertainers in boxing in terms of what he's done and the money he's done, and being able to take 400 million. He took and bought all his videos out of Showtime and HBO. So I mean, entertainment-wise, he had that 24/7. I don't know any fighter that had a 24/7 before Floyd that was as good as Floyd. I don't even name you one.
But what they forget is that Floyd put that work in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's the greatest fighter of all time, because that's Sugar Ray Robinson for me. But then hey,
no, one of the greatest.
No, he said one of the greatest. He said one of the greatest.
Yeah.
But Floyd always put that work in. That's what they don't want to do. They don't want to put the work in to get to where he was. So all they want everything right now. And I want to pick and choose how I get there.
Because we live in a right now environment, Adrian.
Well, I understand that, but that doesn't make it right.
We live in a right now society.
But that doesn't make it right.
No,
look at all. I tell you what. Look at some of the other sports, really, and look at how these people have to train.
Yeah, but Adrian, in the other sports as well, they have one good season. They're getting paid 10 times what they used to get paid. It's like everything's now. Before they'd have 2, 3, 4 seasons.
And I agree. They cannot get paid. You can't pay all of the PBC boxers $2, $3, $4 million on every fight that they fight. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But they don't want, you know what? They only want to go for the big fights and fighters that they think they can beat. That's it. That's their mindset right there.
Okay.
And it's not focused 24 hours, 7 days a week on boxing, which is what you have to do in order to get to that point.
Hold on, wait a minute, AJ.
1 second.
Yeah.
We've got just somebody watching the show. Dilltown, shout out to Dilltown. He says, "Hey, gets more passes than someone on welfare." But okay, let's keep going. Sorry.
Okay, AJ. Being a fighter, being a new age fighter yourself, you have an old feel to you. What was you about to say about what was happening?
I was gonna say I don't personally understand that mentality. Right now and in general, if you're not an Olympic star, a great amateur star, you get put on a ticket deal. You have to sell tickets to fight. When I first started off, I was fighting every month. I was selling between 80 to 100 or 150 tickets every single month. There were some times when I'd break even or even lose money, and I'd technically be fighting for free or fighting at a loss. I didn't mind that because I was doing what I love to do. I was working and climbing my ladder. So I don't understand when these guys make it out like, oh yeah, well, it's only this much money or that much. I don't know about the money. Like I said, when you get to a certain point, success and winning, money comes with it. You being a legend or you making the sacrifices and doing the things that it takes to be a great fighter, money comes with success. But all these guys are just focused on is money, and that's it. They don't want to do anything. A lot of them, if you ask them to fight the road sweeper, they would happily do that. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why people want to say they're the best, but don't want to prove to be the best. They're all scared of losing that. Oh, me personally, I was never scared of it. I was just aware of how the boxing landscape or the boxing mentality took that O. But let me tell you, when I never had that, when I lost that O, it's probably one of the most liberating things. So I feel cool. I know that I'm not going to lose any more fights. And if I do, the guy's going to have to beat me half to death. But other than that, that's not in my mind. I'm just happy to go out there, fight, do my best and do my all and give it my all. And if I fail somehow, then I can lay asleep and be happy because I've done my job. But these guys want to call themselves champions and don't want to do what champions do.
And you know, we saw some of the bloodiest fights 10 and 20 years ago. We saw guys in the ring who would fight to the death.
And the rounds became legendary rounds too. We would talk about this.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you look at Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton. They fought for 15 rounds. He broke his round and his jaw, in the third round? But he still fought 15 rounds.
Okay.
Shit, look at Arthur Abraham and Edison Miranda. Edison Miranda broke fucking Abraham's jaw, round 4 or 5 or some shit. Motherfucker finished the fight and still won.
Hey, can
I just say something if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
Right, let's just all be honest. Boxing is professional pimping. Well, it used to be, yeah? If you understand the terminology, yeah? Now, haven't the boxers don't they have a right to make some form of money, some form of return? Of course they do, yeah? Now, I understand every boxer's got that passion. Now, let me give you an example. Tyson Fury, when he was a young kid growing up, his dream was to make millions, win the world title, the money will come, people will worship him, and it'll just be a celebrity, yes? But in reality, it never happened. Like these young boxers that say, yeah, I want to win a world title, they will not give you a world title if you're not making them money. Let's be honest. It's a business now. We've got to get used to it. The choices we've got as viewers is either you can go left and watch the real boxers, or you can go right and watch the pretend boxers. It's our choice. And in terms of the boxers, you've got a choice. Left or right. You can go for your passion, or you can go right and go for your glory. And that's the sad state of affairs. It's sad. It's true.
It is. 2K. I want to put a spin on this and ask you this, because you're real good with the controversy. You have some fighters that feel that, okay, once I beat this guy that everybody want me to fight, for instance, Danny Garcia. After he beat Lucas Matisse, Danny felt like he ain't got to do shit else.
Mm-hmm.
He really felt like, hey, I proved myself.
Right.
Okay? In today's boxing, unlike when we used to watch fights before, I want to ask you, man, does it need to be a situation? I mean, I'm not going to say it's the trainers, but there seems to be a lack of evolution when you look at today's boxing. Like, there seemed to be a disconnect. Like, I remember trainers like Emmanuel Stewart and who he came under, and then who came under Emmanuel Stewart. I'm looking at some of these trainers, and I'm asking myself, who the fuck taught him? Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm asking myself, like, you know, what's your resume? So, I mean, and then like I feel like this, and I'm gonna ask you this. Do you think that these fighters care too much about their personal image, about looking good, about showing off their fast hands, than being in the ring actually working on their craft?
Absolutely. Because that's how they build their marketability. You know what I'm saying? If they're out there playing to the crowd, they're looking good, you know what I'm saying? They're doing the shit that makes them more of a marketable fucking fighter. AKA, give you an example, Triple G talking about Mexican style. What the fuck is Mexican style? You know what I'm saying? Because Miguel Vasquez doesn't fight what is so-called Mexican style, and he's Mexican.
Ricardo Lopez.
So basically looking good and having some type of moniker to attach yourself to, so you could be a more marketable fighter for the casuals. Okay, yeah, that is way more important than actually working on your craft. Absolutely, to them anyway. Now to us, of course, we're like, nah, motherfucker, you need to work on your shit. But I mean, that's like I said, like Asgar said, and like I said earlier, money is the most important aspect of the fucking sport right now. Legacy means shit, dog. It means shit right now. And as long as money is the utmost priority, well, then your marketability is the next utmost priority. And that's how these motherfuckers become marketable, bro. Absolutely.
But see, by doing that, let's say you get a marketable guy, like for some odd reason, Showtime felt Molina was more marketable than somebody else, and they put him in there with Anthony Joshua. And look what the fuck.
Well, no, I disagree with that. I think they put him in there with Anthony Joshua as a setup for the Klitschko fight. We all knew Molina wasn't gonna fucking beat no Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? This nigga got knocked out by fucking Chris Arreola in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let's just go back. Everybody knows AJ was knocked out a few weeks before the fight, clean. He was sent home. Hence why they put in Molina, who couldn't even flip in it to anybody, because again, it was to sell the fight with Klitschko. Now, can I just say one thing? And I always go back to what Ingram says. For me, you're only the man when you beat the man.
We've got a man in the room that doesn't believe in the word linear. It doesn't happen in his dictionary. It's just facts boxing, Bo Black.
Hey, no, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. No. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get Asgard's information, and we're gonna argue about this on my show.
Let's do this now.
Truth and some facts boxing.
Let's do this now.
No, we got too many people and too many topics, but we gonna cover that one right there because. But you have some fighters though who are the man that ain't doing enough to prove to me that they still the man.
But Bo, let me finish what I was gonna say though. You know, You know, I believe, and I basically said this in my recap on my channel, fam. I think that fight had a lot of fuckery behind it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Bruce Seldon, Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to promote a big fight with Anthony Joshua involved. I mean, I'm looking at Eric Molina, and I'm looking at what he has to do to win that fight. I'm looking at what he did against Deontay Wilder, who, in my opinion, has better footwork than fucking Anthony Joshua. And they hit probably the same, you know, they probably have the same power. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder probably hits harder because he's putting motherfuckers on stretchers and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to get inside the more mobile fighter and hit him with uppercuts on the inside. But against Anthony Joshua, for some fucking reason, at the ring of the bell, he decides to put his back on the ropes and stay on the outside. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm not here to say, yo, this is a fucking conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, when everybody knows I could break down fights in my sleep. And I'm looking at what this motherfucker has to do to win this shit, and he's absolutely doing the opposite, which is an easy game plan. Like, come on, fam. So I think there's a lot of fuckery behind that. I think, you know, like you said, he laid down and looked over and said, yo, did that check clear? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's not blame Anthony Joshua.
I'm not blaming.
No. You're talking about Molina.
No, I'm not blaming Anthony Joshua, not one bit. What I'm saying is
he's a top prospect.
To a degree, you have to blame the boxer, because if the boxer wants to fight someone, they can put their foot down and do it.
That's true. Canelo did it with Lara because De La Hoya did not want to make the Canelo Lara fight, and Canelo said, "Nah, make that fight because I have my fan base calling me a coward. Make that fight." So I agree with that.
When Cleverly decided to fight Kovalev, he said, "I want to get me Kovalev. I want Kovalev." He saw what happened.
Okay, can I just say one thing, because I've not got long yet, but let's just agree on apart from Bo, because I'm gonna come back for you. So we all agree, Tyson Fury is the man that beat the man, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Good. So he's the real king. And I all want to know, 2017, Hughie Fury will be world champion. Remember, Hughie Fury, Tyson Fury, 2017, world domination. Now, you can all have your opinion. You can all say what you're going to say. But I'm telling you, 2017, Fury domination. And listen, I've got to go because my battery's going to cut out. I just want to say to everybody, thank you very much for having me on. Ingram, you've been more than a friend. You're a brother to me, yeah? And I'll never forget the time you've been there for me. And it's been an honor to be on your last show. And believe me, I've got your number. We're friends. And I cannot wait to see you again. Though, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I want you to. Please, I want you to.
Remember, I want you to. Some facts boxing. Just don't use
we're gonna have it out.
Yeah, don't use word linear.
And guys, listen, bless you all. And if I don't speak to you again, have a Merry Christmas, and wishing you all the best for 2017.
Right. Asgar, make sure you say hello to the boss to me as well.
Same to you, man.
I will do, Ingram. God bless you all. Good night.
Take care.
Night.
Bye.
78 Sports. I want to run something by you that I heard you say. And this is what you said. You was pretty upset about it. Oh, you pretty upset about a lot of shit I hear you say. But
hell yeah.
You said, you know what? If this is how these motherfuckers gonna act, then I'm just gonna treat boxing. You know, I'm done with boxing. That's why I went from 78 boxing to 78 sports. It seems like you saw this happening, man.
Oh yeah, I saw a change in boxing and the boxing fans. Like, even with, like, I can deal with the commentators, I can deal with the politics a little bit. I can't deal with the fans, like, buying into so much nonsense, man. Like, I can't believe, like, how this is what really got me. This is what made me almost just completely just cross over to MMA, right? When you look at Rigondeaux's situation, right? And I was talking to some fans, and we're talking about Rigondeaux and Golovkin. At the time, it was maybe about a year ago or something, Golovkin was being ducked. People didn't want to fight him. You know, of course, Frampton, Quigg, Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz, all these guys ducked Rigondeaux, right? And when I say these guys ducked Rigondeaux, this is wrong, guys will tell me, oh, no, Rigondeaux's boring. He's boring. But then they'll tell me Triple G, he's being ducked by everybody. So I can't deal with that kind of nonsense from these fans. So I'm like, listen, man, we got to hold together as boxing fans and say this is garbage. It's not okay for a fighter to be ducked Okay, it's not okay. But they don't do that. They pick and choose their favorite fighters that they like, and you know, Golovkin can do no wrong. All right, this guy has fought a bunch of nobodies, right? But they're already calling him the 25 greatest fighters of all time, or something like this. So it's like how does this happen? Like, man, he's a good fighter, yes. He's a good fighter, but he has to earn it, man. Okay, I don't care. If knockouts is the only thing you care about, then Deontay Wilder is the greatest heavyweight ever. How about that?
Yeah, I agree with. But that's why I said boxing is selling the commercial aspect of it, which is the knockout. They're not selling the sport aspect of it, which is everything that leads up to the knockout, which is the technical side of it.
You know, one thing that told me about how that really brought my attention to how these casual fans are is when they would start every time you get a post that somebody would put in there, oh, he was running, and you know what? I first thing I say is, you know, that's called stick and move. Did Ali? Are you telling me Ali ran? You know, are you telling me these boxers back then who were definitely legends, to me they were, are you telling me that these boxers ran? They didn't ran. They used the ring. That's what you do. You know, you hit and you not get hit. And they just don't get it. They don't understand it. What they want to do, like you said, is to see someone get knocked out. They don't want to look at the beauty of the sport. And when I say that, I don't say it very lightly. I mean, boxing is a beautiful sport. You have to use your brain and you have to use your body, and you got to have heart. And if you don't have any of those, you can forget it. You're not going to make it in the sport. That's it.
But see, Adrian, what you just said goes back to what I said. When I used to watch a video of Tommy Hearns or Marvin Hagler, they was jumping rope, hitting the heavy bag, hitting the speed bag, okay? You see videos of these. Tank Davis got a video out of him hitting pads. Ain't nobody gonna stand in front of you for you to run off 100 fucking punches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Ain't nobody gonna stand in front of you doing 100 punches like that. I mean, you know, I remember seeing fighters doing it. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these trainers, I'm wondering, like, you know, who are some of these people? Because I can clearly see you ain't been teaching this dude the craft.
No. And you know, I'm gonna tell you something else too. I listened to those trainers in the corner. You know, Virgil Hunter, like I said, when Andre Ward was fighting that fight after the first or second round, I told him, this is what I said out loud: get your ass back in that corner and listen to what Virgil is telling you. You don't fight like this. You don't fight like this. I mean, really. Yeah.
Right. I know
that's exactly that's what I said. I said, you don't fight like this. What are you doing? You need to get back over in that corner and listen to what Virgil is telling you. Yeah. And when he listened, he came back out after I think around the third, fourth round and did better. Because he was totally off his game. That was not Andre Ward in the first, second, and third rounds. I'm sorry, it wasn't him. And you could tell it if you follow him. But these guys, they don't listen. You'll see the trainer in the corner, and they're not even listening to the trainer.
No, they're checking out the card girl.
Well, they might be. Yeah. And then they go back out there and do the same thing that they're not supposed to be doing.
That's true.
It's almost like, and like I saw on your show, Ingram, where the trainer was talking about how they don't listen now. They don't listen.
But this is the thing to touch on that, Adrian, is what I don't understand. I think when they're in the corner, a lot of them aren't listening because they're thinking about the after party that they've already planned and invited people to.
Oh, jeez. Are you serious?
I've never understood that. To me and my people, I've said, look, you know, I'm going to be hungry. We'll go for something to eat after. But I've never planned or booked somewhere. These guys are doing out flyers and invitations, and you're like 1-0, 2-0. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? It's not no world title or anything. I think that's what these guys are thinking of.
Yeah.
Wow.
True. Blood Sports, what's your take on that, man? Are these guys that's being trained, are these trainers not training these guys properly?
you know, we see a lot of fighters and they change trainers up, and
Yeah,
it seems like they're not as stable as they used to be with the trainers.
exactly. That's
You know,
right.
they take one loss and then they're on to the next trainer, man.
Hmm.
You know, I think it's a combination of just the atmosphere that we're in now, and you know, there's more guys who are calling themselves trainers now too. So, you know, it's just times have changed, man. You know, it goes the trainers go back all the way to, you know, it goes way back to, you know, I've done a lot of research on trainers and where it all started back from when slavery ended here in the U.S. anyways. I don't know about anywhere else, but when slavery ended, there was a lot of trainers that came out of those plantations, and it started there. And they taught fistic arts to slaves, and they taught it to other European fighters, and it moved on from there. And now we have an atmosphere where the fighters are just not as serious as they used to be. So I think it has something to do with just the complete atmosphere, to be honest.
Melissa, what's your opinion on that?
About the trainers?
Yes.
I
mean, like, how do you go about picking the right trainer for your fighter?
I don't pick the trainers. I don't only advise. Like AJ, can we talk about it?
If you want.
So basically, when he lost his first fight, we had to kind of reshuffle things, and we were changing from a manager and a trainer, and we had to find new guys. And obviously, I didn't really know anybody. I just knew from the gym, from Miguel's boxing gym. And AJ had written a list of people that he wanted, and all that I had, the only involvement I had was just support, because my experience doesn't stretch to that. It was more of a case of it's about credentials. In business, you have to have credentials, right?
Yes.
Any industry. So to me, it was logic. Like, as long as this person has credentials, then cool. And Richard Williams is, an ex-fighter. Was he world? No?
IBL world champion.
Yeah. And also he was trained by Brian Lawrence, who now is AJ's manager. So it's like his manager and his trainer are from the same era. So it just made sense to me that these are like class people. They don't really have a bad name in boxing. All I can hear is great things about them. So I was comfortable with him moving forward, obviously, with those people. But nowadays, I do see on the TV and obviously in the industry, a lot of these new trainers coming up that don't really have the credentials. And I think that it's so important who you put your hands in your career. And isn't it about also that even if you lose and it's the early part of your career, shouldn't you stick with your trainer and try to kind of learn and go through that? Because I watched that Virgil Hunter's and Andre Ward's history, like how they grew up together and how, he took care of him. And that's inspiring. That's how I think it should be.
I agree.
Hey, can I say one more thing about the trainers too? We tend to have fathers who train their children. And people will tell Danny Garcia and Porter and guys like that, leave your father, man. Leave him alone. You need to learn something new. And then sometimes these guys, like we've seen it with Brandon Rios, they end up going back to their roots. So sometimes going away from their roots, it could benefit them, but sometimes they just end up right where they started from. But I don't really like them discouraging fighters from training with their fathers, if their fathers are their trainers. I just wanted to say.
I think fighters have to be honest with themselves and understand that a trainer can give you the knowledge, just like a teacher can give you, can teach you and give you your assignment. But at the same time, you can't. The trainer can't do the job for you, And if you are Amir Khan, then your chin just sucks. It's nobody's fault. It's not. Freddie Roach's fault or Virgil Hunter's fault. It's sometimes you just lack certain things, and you can't get the job done. Sometimes you're just outmanned. I mean, that can happen to anybody in any situation in life. You know what I mean? So I don't like how I think trainers take too much of the blame sometimes when it comes to these fighters, because like a lot of fighters, they, like you said, they don't listen. They feel like they're big time now, or you're disposable, you're replaceable. They talk to the trainers like anything now. Like Kovalev, was ignoring John David Jackson. Like he didn't want to listen to nothing. All the knowledge John David Jackson had. I seriously doubt if Kovalev even understands the instructions.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up because I said that shit on my channel plenty of times, man. I think JDJ is just there for publicity almost because fucking John David Jackson has already said before. He was like, yeah, I give him instructions, and if Kovalev goes in there and decides to do, what I tell him, then he does. But he really just goes in there and just fights. And Kovalev said, yeah, I don't use no strategy in my fights. I just go in there and I fight on the fly. Like, if you're not going to use your fucking trainer to develop a strategy, then what the fuck is he there for then? You know what I'm saying? And then another reason, that whole situation where right before the Andre Ward fight, he didn't get out there to the training camp till I think it was like 2 weeks out or some shit like that, JDJ. So that tells you right there, man, he has absolutely no bearing on what Kovalev does. He's almost publicity, in my opinion.
Yeah, I suspect Kovalev does a lot of weird stuff in camp, disrespectful stuff, because John David Jackson told me before, he wouldn't go into depth with it, but he told me that Kovalev is very difficult to deal with at times. And I'm like, he wouldn't tell me what that meant, though,
Yep. Right. I actually watched that video. I remember that interview.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over to AJ, but let me just go on record and say I've never been outmanned. I'm undefeated. But AJ, you was about to touch on that about the trainer and the father thing. You was gonna say something?
No, the trainer and the father thing. I think we've seen there are several examples throughout the time of boxing where the father-son relationship has either worked really good or worked really poorly. I think on a personal level, that's an extremely fine line for the father, more so than for the son, to how to treat their child. Because no matter what, that's how they're going to see them. So they can either be too hard on them or too soft on them. It's very difficult, in my opinion, I believe, for them to find that right line or that right balance. And sometimes it works, and more time than not, it doesn't, because it's always that personal feeling, whether it's conscious or subconscious. In terms of the boxing and the coaches or the trainers, I think for one, to pick one, you have to, it's a very personal relationship. So it's for the boxer to kind of feel comfortable with that person and be able to listen and to hear what they're saying, because there are some things that my father used to tell me that I couldn't hear or understand, as well as now that Richard tells me, they make sense. And I would either say to him or say to my father, now I understand, or now I know what you meant. It's all about that person speaking to you and how you're receptive to their information. Everybody's different. It's like different teachers being in school. There's some teachers that you work or you listen to perfectly, and others that you don't. And to touch on what 78 Sports said, and also what Bernard Hopkins said, is nowadays it's all about coaches and trainers. There are no more teachers anymore. There's no more teachers of the sport and of the game and of the art of it. And so that's why you have these fighters who already, because of the day and age, they lack the mental fortitude to stick with their coach and take the loss on their chin and say, oh, do you know what? I need to work harder at what I'm doing. No, they're like, no, I blame you, I blame him. And they jump from different guys. But also a lot of these guys out here, they're not teaching anything. They're just coaching. They're just telling you how to throw a punch. They're not actually explaining to you why you would throw a punch like that, or why you would do that, why you would step out to the left, or why you step out to the right, or why you shift your weight. They're just, now everybody's interested in that 600 punches a minute round, and it's bullshit, basically.
Yeah, Tim Bradley said that too.
Yeah, you know what though? He did, but you know what? I want to say something about the Andre Ward, Virgil Hunter situation. That's unique because when Andre Ward got in that corner, Virgil Hunter was on his ass. And in today's world, when a coach does that, a lot of fighters don't have it in their heart to take that type of talk.
Criticism, that's true.
Well, no. That's talk. That's real.
That's that real shit.
You know, I was just gonna say that's that real take it to the street shit talk. That's tough love. Listen, you ain't doing what the fuck I'm telling you to do. Get up off your ass, let your fucking hands go, or you can get your ass whooped.
Teddy
Virgil
Atlas
Hunter basically was saying that to him, and Andre Ward listened because they have that bond. A lot of times, a lot of fighters don't have it in here. When they hear it, they be like, you know what? When this fight's over, I'm done with you.
Hey, I blame Michael Moore for that shit.
Michael Moore and Teddy Atlas.
Yeah, hold on. What you say?
It's that fire trust in that trainer and knowing that what he says works. What he says makes sense and it works for me. So that's why I'm gonna listen to him and trust what he's saying. There's examples where Chris Eubank Jr. told Ronnie Davis, "Shut the fuck up." The guy's telling him when he's against Billy Joe Saunders. The guy said, "Yeah, Chris, you're not doing. Shut the fuck up." How can you say that to the man who's in your court? You're paying him, but you're still telling him to shut up. That's what I'm saying. These guys.
But his dad was disrespectful as well to his trainer. So
yeah, of course, I understand, but that's just one example. I'm sure there's several others that we can mention. It's just like I said, it's just trusting that person because the guy's not teaching you. You don't feel a way to talk to him in any sense. Whereas these guys like Angelo Dundee, Emmanuel Stewart, these guys got through to them guys. Why? Because you know what I'm saying, truth. Virgil Hunter.
I was gonna say when Angelo Dundee told Sugar Ray Leonard, he says you're blowing it, kid.
You're blowing it, son. You're blowing it.
But also though,
Andre Ward listens to Virgil Hunter because he knows what this man is telling me is what I need to do. So I either listen to it and win, or stand a chance of winning, or I don't listen to it and I get beat up.
Yeah,
but
it's just my choice.
But also, you had trainers that had more control of a corner. Like when Emmanuel Stewart talked, when Virgil Hunter talked, man, there's so many trainers I can name. With Angelo Dundee and all when they talk, you heard nobody else running their mouth in the fucking corner.
Right.
Oh,
nowadays, you look at the corner, it's the motherfucker in the seat behind him is yelling.
Hell yeah.
You know, and that kills me. And it's like, damn. I mean, and it's like I remember, I think it was Angelo Dundee, and I forget what fight he was in when he said, "Leave him the fuck alone. Just leave him the fuck alone. Let me talk him a fight. Leave him the fuck alone." You know, you got to take control of it. And I don't know, I don't know what has happened where the trainers have no control over what's going on in camp, in the corner. I don't know.
I have a question for the panel. What do you think about Ruben and Robert Guerrero?
I'm gonna start with blood boxing on that one.
Oh man, I love Ruben Guerrero, man. He's a trip, man. He called out Mayweather and he got up in Danny Garcia's daddy face, and they had that whole father rivalry going when they were building the fight. I like that combination. He seems to like his dad and listens to his dad really well, man. So, you know, I think that when a son and a father get together, it should be something between them, man. You know, if the son decides he needs to move on, you know, maybe sometimes it's for the better, man. But I'll tell you what, man, I love seeing that combination, man, between a man and his son, because that's a father doing what he's supposed to do, man. So I love it.
What about you, 2K?
Man, I got to disagree with my man Blood on that one, man. I'm with him like maybe 15%. I'm cool, you know, with the whole father-son connection. That's what's up. But Ruben Guerrero has taken Robert as far as he going to take his ass. I mean, losing to a cat like David Peralta. And then I just had a prospect here, a local prospect here named Ladarius Whetstone on my channel a couple videos back. He was in Robert Guerrero's camp for that fight. And he said off the record, he was whooping the shit out of Robert Guerrero. Like it wasn't the same Robert Guerrero we had seen prior. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he could still improve though? Do you think Guerrero could still improve under another trainer?
You know, that's a good question. I'm gonna just say this, Blood. I thought what I'm saying right now about Robert, I thought that about Abner Mares. And I was saying Robert Garcia ain't gonna be able to do shit for Abner Mares. And you saw what we just saw this past Saturday when he went in there with Jesus Cuellar. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think the same thing there's a possibility that the same thing could happen for Robert. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel Ruben has taken him as far as he could take him, man. I really believe Robert needs to seek somebody else. I mean, I hate to break up the whole, father-son tandem, but in this case, it may need to happen.
I think
he
so.
needs to go. He needs to go with a trainer that'll help him go back to being Robert,
Right.
78 Sports. What's your take on that?
As far as the Guerreros, I think
Well, the whole father-son thing, period.
Oh, well, I'm a fan of the father-son concept. I like it. I think that a father should have a bond with his son, as far as he should know how to talk to him in that corner. He should know what his son's limitations are. I know the WBC just came out with some ruling saying that they weren't going to allow the father to be chief second anymore. I never heard that before. That's kind of weird, but I think that in Guerrero's case, I mean, I hate to say it, man, because I'm a father. I don't want nobody telling me nothing about what I need to be doing with my kids. You know what I mean? But I just have to say, man, I think Ruben, Ruben need to go eat a Ruben. You know what I mean? He need to go sit down somewhere. I don't think I don't think he, like you said, I think he's taking Guerrero as far as he can take him. Now it's like, hey, son, I took you here. Now you gotta walk this next journey of life by yourself, or going to the next chapter by, I can't do nothing else for you. And I think that's fine. I mean, you watch kung fu movies, you learn from this master, and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest with you, man, I'm gonna just add this real quick, Bo. To be honest with you, Luke, he really lost to Aaron Martinez. Fuck David Peralta. He lost to Aaron Martinez, fam. You know what I'm saying? And in that fight, it was clear, again, what he needed to do to win that fight. And Ruben was not giving him the right instructions. You know what I'm saying? And that fight ended up being a split decision win for him, but it should have been a loss. I mean, that he should have left him then.
Well, some trainers, you don't really hear technical breakdowns in the corner. With them, some of them are good motivators, and they're good. Come on, let your hands go. You gotta let your hands go, But they're not telling them, all right, when he does this, you need to cut off the ring. You need to, like, Teddy Atlas is very, very good at explaining the technical aspects of what you need to do, what you need to be doing, and he's a good motivator at that too. So I think that that's something that Guerrero might want to look into if he want to continue his career at a top level. You know what I mean? And but sometimes a fighter is just done. You know what I mean? Sometimes a fighter is just done, and like I think personally, I think Devin Alexander's done.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Devin's done. You know what I always felt, and Devin stays here where I am, and I've seen and talked to Devin several times, and I just think that Devin needed a better.
You were able to understand him?
Huh?
You was able to understand
Come on now. Wait now. Devin's a nice guy. Devin? He really is a nice person. Don't do that.
They could punch it, right?
But I think
oh no, bro, that's messed up.
that is so wrong with you, Bo. But I think that he should have gotten Kevin out of his corner. I don't think that Kevin was a good trainer for him.
I don't know, Adrian. I got to disagree with that. And against Aaron Martinez, he was telling Devin exactly what to do.
But you know what? As he started training other people, he kind of left Devin behind.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Okay. Ingram Jones.
Ben. Bo.
What's your
listen? It's now 1:30 in the morning for people in the UK. AJ and for Melissa, 1:30 in the morning. Almost going to keep them up. So before we close with these guys, question to ask everybody in the room. First question is to ask: who is your fighter for 2016? 2K, you go first. 30 seconds. Go.
My fighter for 2016. Andre Ward.
Yep. I went with him. 78.
My fighter for 2007. Oh, for this year, you said?
Yes, not 17.
Oh, okay. Fighter of the year, I would say Andre Ward. First time being active in a long time. Salute to you, brother Ingram, man. I'm gonna miss you, brother. But hey, you ain't going nowhere. I'm still gonna talk to you.
That's it.
Well.
Adrian, fighter of the year for you.
The fighter or the fight of the year?
Fighter of the year.
The fighter of the year?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Earl Spence.
That's a good one.
Different. Oh man.
Sorry, that had to be on. Sorry. Go ahead. Fight of the year, AJ.
I would say Terence Crawford.
All right.
The boxing fight of the year.
You know what, man? I hate to say it, man. I have to say Crawford because you know he's closer to being undisputed, man, and he had a big win this year. So I'm going with Crawford, man. Terrence Crawford.
Okay, Melissa.
I'm loving the sound effects, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Bob. Fight of the year.
Andre Ward.
I
missed it. Who was it?
Andre Ward. She said Andre Ward.
Yeah, okay. Of course. Andre Ward. Bo?
I got Carl Frampton, man. He won. He beat 2 undefeated fighters in 2 separate divisions, back to back.
He ducked one too.
Yeah, he ducked my favorite.
There it is.
Wait a minute. He ducked my favorite one. He ducked my favorite one. He ducked my favorite, but he beat back to back undefeated champions. So
and he ducked Rigondeaux.
Yes, he did. Oh.
Giving out awards for ducking. What the hell is wrong with you, boy?
Hey, man. Hey, don't change what you did, though,
That's
man.
the problem with boxing with today. That's the problem with boxing today.
Fight of the year, I'm giving to Andre Ward simply because the inactivity, coming back and then fighting the man, the killer, who everyone said Kovalev was, and he beat Kovalev. Some people dispute the decision, but he still went and fought the #1 man in the division. Unlike Carl Frampton, who ducked Rigondeaux and moved up a weight division. So I know Frampton's a close first, but I take him in second. So fight of the year, K2 or 2K.
What's that? Oh, fight of the year.
Fight of the year.
I'm gonna go Orlando Salido, Francisco Vargas.
Great.
Bless you.
78 Sports TV.
All
Fight of the
right.
year.
Get the sound effects ready. I'm going to just say it, man.
Yep.
My fight of the year just happened. It just happened. Dillian White and Derek Stewart. I was, man. Hey. Look, that was a great fight, man. Look, that was a great fight, man.
British Championship fight. Not in for a title, and I understand, but okay, fair enough.
Adrian.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
Porter Thurman. Porter Thurman.
It's a good fight.
AJ.
I have to agree. Sean Porter and Keith Thurman.
Blood boxing.
I want to say something different now, but it really is White Chisor. That's mine.
Damn.
Melissa. Melissa.
My thing cut out. You guys saying the fight of the year?
Fight of the year.
Oh well, the Derek Chisora and the Dillian White fight.
Yep.
Oh.
See.
Yeah, go ahead. Go and get the sound effects, bro.
That's from what I've seen. Remember, I'm working.
I understand, Bo.
Ingram, the amount of times I've played and replayed Porter Thurman on the Skybox
Of course, that's been a great fight. That was a great fight. Okay, well,
fight of the year.
Lose Ortiz versus Dave Allen.
No, fight of the year. No, man, I would never. Fight of the year. Fight of the year is Bobland versus Ingram, and I'm the winner because you out of here after today.
Okay. Guys,
Salido and Vargas, I agree with you.
I have a problem with the Chisora White thing for one reason only. Chisora couldn't do 12 rounds. He was sitting back doing a poor rope-a-dope, not because he was rope-a-doping, but because the guy wasn't fit enough.
Yeah. Exactly.
He was knackered. He was knackered at round 5.
Terrible.
So how that can be fight of the year when you've got
the heavyweights though, bro? Heavyweight, man.
Santa Cruz versus Frampton. What about that? 12 rounds of back and forth action.
Yeah, two duckers fighting each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, why you gotta pick on my pick like that, man? I thought we was cool, man. You can't come to my channel now, man.
Hey, come on, now.
Okay, so let's get that one. Let's finish on. Next one. Most overrated fighter in 2016.
You gotta put Ward Kovalev in there just for the magnitude of the fight and for how Ward performed within it as well.
Of course.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Most overrated fighter in 2016.
Most overrated fighter in 2016.
Joshua Molina.
That's one overrated fight of 2016. That's an overrated fight. No, overrated fighter. 2K, you first.
Okay, overrated.
Felix Verdejo.
Overrated fighter.
Hell yeah.
28 Sports TV.
I gotta go with I gotta go with Gennady Golovkin, man. I mean, even though he's good, but you know, he's overrated by definition. Is there when they're ranking him all time? I'm sorry, he's overrated. You can't be ranked all time and you're not even undisputed. You haven't even fought the best guys in your division.
Yeah.
You know?
What? And he can beat Hagler according to some people.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, 2K, you remember that conversation?
Hell yeah.
Adrian.
Triple G.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. AJ, most overrated fighter of 2016.
I would say, although he's not the only one that's done this, is Carl Frampton, based on the fact that he's ducked and gone up a weight division. Actually, furthermore, Alvarez.
There you go.
Wow.
Hello.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, I think it's down
to Carl Frampton and to any other fighters that duck other fighters and guard pull down weights. It's the same thing. You guys are all overrated because you're still seen as world champions, but you're not really.
Okay, fair point. Blood boxing.
I agree. I think Alvarez is the most overrated fighter. At most websites they had him ranked #1 pound for pound all year, even over Golovkin.
Okay.
So I would have to say Alvarez.
BoxRec had him #1 for a while. I was
For a long time, they had him #1. I could never understand why when there's so many champions in that division. To me, he's overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Melissa.
Joshua.
Oh.
You know what? I started to say Joshua.
Damn.
Melissa, I did. I started to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Would you like me to
Truth
elaborate?
and facts.
Man, I gotta go with Gennady Golovkin because they got him #2 pound for pound, 25, number 25 all-time greatest over the last 10 years. No, man. No.
3 letters, GGG. Overrated. Completely overrated. I mean, when you've got people like Max Kellerman telling you he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world, and you've got Sky Sports telling you he's the most feared man on the planet, and all the rest of it. Sorry, totally overrated.
I'll take it a step further. When your best opponent is 2 divisions below you,
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
When your best opponent has only fought Sean Porter, how about that one?
Right.
Yep. He fought Carson Jones.
Scraped by Carson Jones. He didn't even win that fight. Scraped by him.
Okay. Most overhyped fight but didn't deliver. 2K.
Oh man, you had to go with somebody else for this one. Most overhyped fight that didn't deliver. God damn.
Oh, that's easy.
Come back to me.
You should know that.
78.
Man, I gotta think about that one too. That didn't deliver and it was super hyped. I gotta say, man, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'll say this. According to me, I'll just say this. Even though it might not fit the criteria, Lomachenko versus Nicholas Walters was disgusting to me. You know, Nicholas Walters just, I mean, I don't care what he does for the rest of his career.
It's true, though. It's true.
It's true.
It's very true. AJ?
Most overhyped fight that didn't deliver. Yeah, I may say probably Lomachenko Waters, but I would say any Anthony Joshua fight is overhyped and never delivers really. This is off the top of my head. I can't think, but yeah, just
blood boxing.
That bit.
Man, I don't know, man. You guys got me on this one here, man. Shit. Anything? Let me think.
You mean this year?
Yeah, I can't think of nothing now. That's shit. The whole damn year, pretty much for me. I don't know. Shit, I don't even know what to say.
Mine is Amir Khan and Canelo.
Amir Khan, Canelo. Didn't
that
deliver.
wasn't overhyped though.
I thought it delivered.
Yeah, it delivered exactly.
Oh yeah, we knew what was going to happen. Yeah, it was still hyped up. It was still hyped.
Adrian, I was in Las Vegas for that fight, man. Motherfuckers that lived in Las Vegas didn't even know Canelo was fighting. I had to remind people. Yeah, real talk. I had to remind
people. Sorry.
Oh, wait. I forgot. You know what? Now I remember. Was that last year though? No, that was last year. Never mind. Sorry.
I got one.
Anyway.
I got one.
I was gonna say Fury versus Klitschko.
Oh yeah, that was last year.
That's a good one.
I got one, Ingram.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it right there.
Bo?
Oh man, I had one and I just forgot it.
Kell-Brook Golovkin.
No, I had one.
Bo.
Anthony Joshua and fucking Brazili, Biscuit, Dominic, whatever. Yeah, that fight.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I would say, and I'm going to get haters come out here. Any fight that Eddie Hearn promotes and tells you it's going to be a 50-50 fight, and then tells you it's going to be the toughest fight of their career, and you find that it's a walk in the park for the guy. And most of the fights are 90-10 fights. So yeah, I'm going to say that. So a lot of matchroom fights this year, which have been pay-per-view.
I just want to say that I hope next year I won't be saying that the most overhyped fight is Bo Bland versus Ingram Jones.
I'm going to win that one by knockout. I already did. So here's one. This will be one for you guys. You're going to put yourself, guys and girls, you're going to put yourself on the chopping board now. You're all saying you're kind of boxing pundits. No, you're boxing. Now you're going to put yourself in line. In the next 3 to 5 years, or 5 years from now, who are you picking from this point onwards, 2016 onwards, to go on to be considered a great fighter in the next 4 to 5 years? The next great fighter. Andre Ward doesn't quite fit that because he's kind of already established and done what he's done. So Andre Ward is not. You cannot use Andre Ward.
That's an easy one.
Okay, so we'll start with you, 78.
I gotta go with Terrence Crawford if I can use him.
Exactly.
If I can use Terrence Crawford, I'm using Terrence Crawford. I think that I think he's gonna be something special, man. Yep, most definitely.
Terrence Crawford. Wow, that's big pick. $2K.
Man, I got 3 of them. I'm gonna go with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and Naoya Inoue.
Okay. Spence is the one. Hey, Jan?
I'm going with Crawford and I'm going with Spence.
Faith in Spence.
I'm sorry.
AJ?
Oh, I'm gonna choose myself.
Oh.
Okay, fair enough.
Both
That's
good,
good.
man.
Please clap. Okay. I like that one though, AJ. That's good. I like it. Block boxing.
Yeah.
Spence and Crawford, man.
Okay. Where's my sound effects going for clapping? Clap! I want to clap for Crawford. Clapping. Okay. Okay, Melissa.
Thank you.
Melissa.
Easy. AJ Big Dog Carter.
Okay. Bo.
Sorry. Let me add Isaac Dogbo as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'll give a shout for that one.
He's gonna do great things.
I got Spence, I got Crawford, and I got Usyk.
Usyk. Wow. Great. Great fighter. I'm gonna go with Usyk. I'm gonna go with Crawford. I'm not sure about Spence. I don't like the way he was getting caught with too many punches by Bundu, who's 40 years old. Pulls straight back from punches. Not too keen on that.
Hey, man, make a pick, man. Nobody asked you to do all that. Make a pick, man.
So, yeah, those are the 2 I'm going with. Okay, one more. Which promotional banner is going to be the most successful in 2017?
Oh, God.
That's a good question.
Oh,
That's
man.
a good one. That's a good
That is a good question.
That's my job.
Oh, no comment.
2017. And if you don't want to say promotional banner, then which TV network is going to do it in 2017? You've got Showtime, you've got Box Nation, you've got...
That was easy.
Okay, 2K.
I think that Richard Schaefer's company is going to do really well.
Okay. Schaefer Dog, okay.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the network, I think Showtime's already beating HBO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I was gonna go with Schaefer's company. Probably being the having the most upside. Showtime is killing HBO as far as the fights that they're putting on. But my favorite network is Box Nation. But I think Showtime is gonna take the cake though, 2017.
Okay. 78.
Yeah, network. I would go with Showtime. They have a stack. They already setting up fights for next year. HBO got nothing except for Kirkland and Miguel Cotto, and that's on pay-per-view. And so I could think Showtime for the network and promotional. Hey, I'm just gonna have to say, man, I think Eddie Hearn and them gonna do their thing, man. I mean, I think if Joshua gets past Klitschko, it's the boxing that belongs to Eddie Hearn at that moment.
Interesting. AJ?
I think they're a relatively new company, up and coming, but I think Bobland Promotions will do real well.
I've already put everybody on the panel. AJ, they can't deal with this 6'175", man.
Melissa?
No comment, honestly. Just no.
Blood boxing?
You know, I think I'm gonna stick with the PBC for right now, man. I ain't giving up on them yet.
Okay. Okay. Have I missed anybody out in the room? No? Good. Okay, final question. Whose O's going to go first in 2017? Or whose O would you like to see go first in 2017? I'll start with Bo Bland first.
Oh, that's easy. I like to see Danny Garcia's O go.
I knew it.
I like to see Danny Garcia's O go. Either him or Keith Thurman, one of them.
Doom and double doom there, man.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah, you could throw Deontay Wilder in there too. Like,
yeah, that's where I was. Shit, I was close to that. I was close to that one. I'm gonna go with man. Looking at the plans that they're talking about doing for AJ, man, it's gonna be Anthony Joshua, man. If they go with those plans that they talking about, it's gonna be Anthony Joshua.
They laugh at that as well. There you go.
Ingram's sound effects are telling.
Well, I'm just, you know, it's got to be done.
Oh, you know what? Okay,
you know what? Go ahead, Bo. Go ahead.
I was finna say a dude who is gonna be going sooner than anybody is probably gonna be Joshua goddamn Parker.
Oh hell yeah!
But Luis Ortiz.
No, his O ain't never going. And X78. What's yo? Go ahead.
I think O to go. Who I want O to go? Okay.
Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, absolutely. Billy. His O gotta go, man, because he take too much pride in that O. Yeah. And, you know, it doesn't mean nothing. Not fighting nobody, man. Like, what's the point?
He fuck around retire before he lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Anybody else? Have I missed any out in the room?
AJ.
I hope anyone who's purposely not taking any risks, trying to better themselves and protecting their O, I hope they all lose their O on the same night.
Yeah.
Yes. I have to ask this question before I go, because if I don't, it's going to burn me. Okay, this is the final question of the night. Who do you most want to see get knocked out in 2017?
Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin.
Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin. Lomachenko in that order.
And Lomachenko, I agree.
Get the biggest hype train and then get the second biggest hype train in that order.
Yeah, I agree.
And when that happens, HBO is gonna cry a fucking river.
Yeah. They're gonna shut down the boxing department. Period.
They're gonna sell their stock to all of us right here on the
Oh, so we think that Golovkin getting knocked out. The box gives me a lot of favors then.
Yeah.
Universal, I take it.
Yeah, it is.
Either Golovkin or I would pay to see somebody from the panel on HBO get up and knock out Jim Lampley.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, 78. Hey, bro, we could talk about that on camera, man. Wire me some money. I'll do it for you.
Hey, I got $9,300 for you. You do that.
I'll do it for you.
Right, just under 10.
$50.
Oh, dear, man. Right. And it's now 10 to 2 in the morning. I want to thank AJ and Melissa, particularly because you're on UK time there, and I really appreciate you both got busy lives. So thank you both for being a part of the show. So AJ, have you got any final last words to give us apart from that massive yawn?
It was a pleasure and an honor to be part of the final show, and I look forward to your future endeavors. I'll be supporting you nonetheless.
Thank you, champ. I really appreciate that. Melissa?
Just again, Ingram, I know we've only known each other for a short time, but I really appreciate your support and your guidance and for teaching us everything so far. And it was such a pleasure to meet you, Bo, and Adrian, and you guys as well. We hope to stay all in touch, and any advice or guidance you can give us, let's stick together and try and make this change happen.
Okay.
I will get you all connected on Facebook together so you all can all talk. So that'd be fantastic.
Cool.
Great.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. So let me go across back to Bo. Bo, are you going to close us out, or am I closing us out?
No, you close us out, man. This is the last show for you, man. I just want to thank everybody that came. I especially want to thank Blood Boxing for coming out, man. It's
No doubt, bro.
all of you guys being on here.
No doubt, man.
78 Sports. AJ
Much
is
love.
always cordial with me. Adrian, special thanks to you, Ingram, man. You helped me out. But 2K, I give a special thank to my man 2K. We joke and I mess with him, but 2K really, really, you know, in the business where don't nobody want to take time out to help you, he really, really took time out to really help me, and I appreciate it, man.
No doubt, fam.
Ingram, I'm
still
gonna
better
miss
than you though.
this.
I'm still better now.
Nah, you
I'm
wish.
so glad I met you.
Thank you
And,
so much, Adrian. It's a pleasure
I
to-
wish you the best.
Yeah.
You tonight have been getting so many compliments in the room tonight, Adrian. I tell you, the blowing the room apart tonight with the amount of compliments you've been getting in here. So had to send them up
Really?
at times. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful woman. Beautiful
Yeah.
woman. I told
Thank you,
Bo
guys.
that the other day.
There you go. So thank you so
Thank
much, Adrian. I look forward to talking to you and keeping in contact. 2K, shout out, man. Love you so much, brother. I haven't known you for a long time, but I love your commentary, love your work, and
sir.
just keep going where you're going. If you need any help, shout to me. I'm here. If you need
Yes,
any work in terms of getting links or interviews or people you need connections with, I'm here, brother. And you got
Yes,
people
sir.
like Blood Boxing and 78 Sports TV in here as well. So they're great contacts to have in the room
Yes,
as well, as you know. So you can reach out to the brothers.
Yes, sir. Same
AJ,
to you, man.
no worries, champ. AJ, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I want to be there watching you with your career moving forward. In 2017, just to start, we look forward to seeing you do great things in 2017.
Thank you again.
Yeah, Melissa, keep us posted. You guys keep us posted.
Will do.
Blood Boxing, it's taken 2012, 2016, well, it's 4 years. I'm not very good with mathematics, but it's taken us 4 years to finally meet on this platform together, and it's the day I'm saying goodbye.
Hey, man, and I wish you the best in whatever you decide to do, man. I'm going to miss hearing your voice, man, but I follow your other page, too, though, so, you know, and I'm going to follow you, you know. Okay, my bad. I'm going to continue to follow you, brother. I got you.
Thank you very much.
Whatever you do, bro. Whatever you do, I support it.
Thank you so much, bro. You're like the godfather. You know, when I started watching boxing, you were one of the first guys that I saw back, 2009, Blood Boxing, when you knew about Blood Boxing. And, you know, a real leader in your own way, spoke your own mind, regardless of what people thought and stuff. And I've got to say, you've been a great inspiration to my life. So thank you so much.
Thank you, bro. Thanks, man.
78 Sports TV. What can I say about you, sir? First of all, it's a pleasure to know you, brother. Absolute pleasure. I think you hit the big time when you did that interview and it was mentioned by IFL to Billy Joe Saunders. It made you blow up even further, which is great. I think all press is good press, especially when you're getting the attention, because people come and watch what you do. And it's not that you haven't got the talent; you've got tremendous talent. The views you've got on your channel at times are incredible, and you've definitely got to show me how you do that, because that's absolutely amazing how you do that. But obviously, it's good content you've got on your channel. Keep up the great work. Do not focus on the haters. Do what you got to do. And here's my support by LBC.
LBBC.
Exactly.
Damn boxing
Shout out.
community.
absolutely shout out to you guys for that, because stick together, keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get haters, but you've got my full support on that as well, brother. So congratulations.
Hey, man,
keep going.
I want to thank you too, brother. You've always been fair to me. You've always been a good brother. Genuine. You know what I mean? It's hard to find genuine people, man, nowadays, you know, without backbiting and talking bad about you 1 minute. You've never been like that. You always been solid. So if you ever need me, I'll be there to whoop somebody's ass. Just let me know.
Thank you very much, chap. And you know what we've proven tonight? We've proven something tonight as a community. We've proven that the YTBC can work. We've proven that crossovers can work. We've proven that people from different networks and different channels can come together and talk and have open debates and talk about varied topics without people having to insult one another, without people having to cuss at one another. We've done it tonight, and we've been able to all express our opinions, and it's been a pleasure. And I'm touched to know that we've done it together, a Royal Rumble of the best, the creme de la creme across the YouTube community, and I'm just proud of you all. So thank you all so much, appreciated, and I will see you all in 2017. And finally, Bermain versus Povetkin this weekend, big fight in Russia. I certainly will be tuning into that. I don't know how many people else will be tuning into it, but it's a big fight, and I look forward to it, and I hope that the best man wins that fight. Without becoming too biased. Yes. Anyway, so I think this is it from me, Bo Bland. I will leave it with you in terms of passing the mantle on to you. You are almost the newbie in the room, and I really think your style of commentary is refreshing. It's what's needed in the YouTube community, and Truth and Some Facts Boxing is going to go a long way, I believe, in 2017. And I wish you all the best. And like I said, I'm here as a contact. If you need me, I'm here. And the YouTube community, one thing I will say to everybody that's in this room, particularly those who are in the YouTube community, to be very careful of 2017, particularly of fake accounts, trolling, the heightened tension across the YouTube community with the whole racial card being thrown left, right, and center. Don't get caught up into it. If you've got people on your channel that have been idiots, just block them. And just keep doing what you're doing. You are the guys that are going to tell the truth in the YouTube community. Without people like you speaking truth in the YouTube community, casuals are going to dominate boxing and ruin boxing. You're going to have idiots who belong on the comment section, picking up cameras, walking across the YouTube community, going in and reporting boxing. And they're going to be the casuals bringing you the sport. And that we have to stop. So you guys have got to step up and ensure that doesn't happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Agreed.
So that's me. I'm finished. I'm done. So thank you all so much for being a part of Bayloric TV. And this is the end of Bayloric TV Boxing Channel. I'm out. Take care.
Bye.
Peace, brother.